Well, hello everybody. How you doing here? Welcome to Chicago. Here we got October the 27th, 2025. We're after 5 o'clock here. We got 5:23 in the PM here. Let's head across the bridge there, and then we're going to make a hard left there and head west. I realize I probably got to do it in the beginning of the week, or I'm going to get tired as we head towards Halloween on Friday there. Chris, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Thanks everybody here for being on. Oh, I lost the crown. How you doing? That's good. But, yeah, we'll head up Michigan Avenue here, Citizen M. We got about 58 degrees. I guess it got up to 60 today. It didn't feel like it when I was at lunch. I was saying 54 degrees. It might have been upper 50s. We walked through the loop here. We checked out the bean and all that. But hey, we're just going to head home. But I'm going to head further west into Lincoln Park. I want to see if what I used to refer to the Barbie Scream House. Grim Evil remembers the Barbie Scream House. It's there on Webster. It's over towards Clybourn. It's over almost towards Pequods there, Webster and Clybourn. It's just a few blocks over. We're going to head over there. So I'll go towards the North Branch Chicago River. We'll check out the casino site construction there. Grim Evil, thanks for tuning in there. Angie Love, Jessica, how you doing there? Krista, hey, how's everybody doing here? You know where we're at. Grim, I hope you had a good weekend there, and everybody else as well. But hey, yeah, we got Monday here, Monday, October the 27th, 58 degrees here. Feels like fall. Jacket weather, not too bad. At least it was sunshine. We walked along the lakefront this morning, and there was nice waves. It was hard to hear me, I know, because of the wind. But thanks everybody tuning in. So I did upload both this morning's and the lunchtime walk to the podcast there. So we got podcasts now on YouTube. I don't think anybody, I think 0 people listen to my podcast, so I don't think anybody's listening to Brian Really Chicago for his podcast there. But here I need to, well, we'll cross the street once we get over. We go down to the lower levels there, we can cross that way. But, yeah, here's Wacker Drive. We were here at lunchtime, going along the Riverwalk. Yeah, we still got wind. There's been a constant 10-mile-per-hour wind the whole morning here. Look at the bridge house here. Hey, they're selling the stuff here. Very nice. There's the South Michigan Avenue Bridge here. Yeah, look at the flags. There's the Tribune. Wrigley. There we go. Hey, Chicago River Walk. There we go. There's the St. Regis there. Yeah, we got some river boats here. Lambie T, how you doing there? Yeah, thanks for tuning in there. How you doing? Jeff, thanks for tuning in. Jeff Hickman. Alvin's tuning in. Yeah, how you doing there, Alvin? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, Alvin, I like that commercial. I'm actually for that commercial with Reagan. You know, fine American Republican conservative there, trying to educate our American president how bad tariffs are, and he overreacts. He overreacts and throws a tantrum. If anybody else does it, they would call him a snowflake. The president does it, they say, oh, it's very presidential. Yeah, you're very presidential there, throwing a tantrum. I'm talking about the president's reaction to the Ontario's commercial there for the World Series as Toronto Blue Jays are playing the LA Dodgers there. They go back to LA there for game 3. Hey, Jean-Baptiste Pointe-de-Sable, there he is. Look, hey, they put him back. He was gone there for a second. There's the Aon, the St. Regis here. We're up here by Tribune, Wrigley Building, Trump Tower. There you go. So I'll head down to Billy Goat's, and then we'll cross over towards the river. We'll head straight across Kinsey or Hubbard in one of these streets. Normally we go along the Riverwalk, but we did the Riverwalk at lunch, so we'll see if there's any nightclub action going on over here. Tracy, how you doing there, Michael? Yeah, Florida, that's good. Hey, Chicago misses you. I'm sure you won't miss Chicago in January when we got -10 and you're down there in Florida. We'll visit you then. But hey, there's the, look at that view back to the London house there, 333 North Michigan, the Mather Tower. So here, I'll show you how you can cross the street by going underneath the street. There's Jack Brickhouse. I don't point out Jack Brickhouse enough. He broadcast more games than Harry Carey. Jack Brickhouse. Chicago Deep Dish. Yeah, Uno's and Duays is on Wabash at Ohio Street. Well, there's Duays, which is in Ontario. So you got the internet, you got the map, you can find some. There's Lou Malnati's. Here's Lou Malnati's in the backside, the annex of the Wrigley building. You go to Lou Malnati's. But here, you see where we're at here. I wish this bus would get out of the way. I want to show this nice view we have. Look at that nice view you got to the Jewelers, 333 North Michigan, the Mather Tower there, the London House, and of course the Wrigley and the Tribune. Look, they got the purple lights there. But here, let's head down to, somebody lost their jacket. Hey, they're doing a tour. There's see people always say, there's real live tours there. We'll go across the Billy Goats there. Hey, he's doing it in Spanish too. It's a tour in Spanish. That shows you that I'm going to start translating my podcast and my shorts. I'm going to start broadcasting them to Spanish, and they can translate my voice there, even the other languages here. So here can you believe how much traffic is underneath Michigan Avenue? There's just as much traffic this time of the evening underneath Michigan Avenue as there is above. Bus lines down here. See, this is underneath the Wrigley building. There's the Michigan Avenue Bridge. You feel like the Blues Brothers here. And you see how you can go up the stairs right to Michigan Avenue. These are the pedestrian access to the lower levels of Michigan Wacker. And we're at, it says it here on the sign here. We're Hubbard Street, Michigan Avenue. There's Billy Goat's Tavern, the world famous Billy Goat Tavern. Billy Goat's Tavern here in Chicago, Illinois. It's underneath. It's actually on the real ground. There's Billy Goat's, 1934. Of course, the original owner put the curse on the Cubs there. There he is. Murphy the Goat, reverse the curse there. Cheeseburger, cheeseburger, cheeseburger. That's how you go in, you go in there. And here's Billy Goat Tavern here, world famous Billy Goats. And how you doing? Hey, thanks for saying hello. Hello, yeah, I'm Brian Really Chicago. That's good. Yeah, Billy Goats Tavern. Yeah, very nice. See, they want to say hello there. Festivus. Yeah, Billy Goats, see? Enter at your own risk. Billy Goat's Tavern there. Very nice. How you doing? Yeah, very nice. Cheeseburger. See, they got the Wall of Fame. They got a bar. Yeah, world famous Billy Goats. They were checking it out too. Enter at your own risk. Yeah, no fries and chips, no Pepsi, Coke. Cheeseburger, cheeseburger, cheeseburger. Or is it no Coke, Pepsi? I forget which way it goes. But yeah, that's the old Saturday Night Live skit there. John Belushi. And old Mike Rocco used to go there. He was the columnist for the Chicago Tribune. And he would go there, play on the softball team. But hey, we'll head straight across Kinsey here. We're underneath. There's a sidewalk above us. It's a floating sidewalk. Hey, Kaleido rolls, fresh rolled every day there. So there's the back side of the Gwen Hotel, Nordstrom. We'll head under Wabash. Chris is tuning in there, Wes. Chief engineer at the Sears Tower there. Well, who was that? Fazler Khan. Let's see. Yeah. No, the Chicago chief. Yeah, Wacker Drive. You like to listen to it? Cheesesteak. Yeah, we got some good cheesesteak, Philly cheesesteak. You got to get to... I like Rico Benny's. Go to Rico Benny's. They put a big tomato sauce on it though, but they got it. And then you got Philly Italian beef. Go to Mr. Beef, or you could go to Johnny's in Elmwood Park is probably the best. There's several. Al's Beef, original there, and Little Italy. They're all over. There's several Italian beef joints. But I think you're talking about Philly cheese. Yeah, there's a Philly cheesecake place on Belmont we passed. Chris and I have ate there. Came back from Wrigley one time. Here's so we're still underneath. This is underneath Wabash, and that's behind the Trump Tower, and that's where it ends at Ohio Street. And here we'll cross the street. Here we'll show you some of the old haunts here in River North. River North, Chicago. I just got out of work, and look how high the sidewalks are. They got to put steps here. This is when this area was industrial, and it's like the leftover. There's a lot of industrial areas of the city that has these crazy sidewalks, especially underneath the train tracks or the overpasses. Here's Shaw. Here's Shaw, the king of the crab here. Shaw's Crab Place here. This is on Kenzie Street, Chicago, Illinois. Shaw's Crab House here. The whole experience here. Oyster Bar. Andy's Jazz Club. So people often ask where the good blues and jazz clubs are. This is probably the best jazz club besides Winter's Jazz. Well, I think this is better than Winter's Jazz. Andy's Jazz is here on Kenzie Street, live jazz club. If you're downtown, you want to see live jazz, here come to Andy's. It's on Kenzie's 11 East Hubbard here between State and Wabash. And there's Blue Chicago's over on Clark Street. You can go to Halstead to Kingston Mines. Blues is shut down. You go to Buddy's Guys Legends in the South Loop for blues. But if you want jazz, it's Andy's Jazz in Chicago, or Winter's Jazz over by the Ogden Slip. And is there another jazz place? Anybody know another good jazz place in Chicago? I need to file that away. Here, there's Rossi's. Rossi's opens at 7 a.m. Somebody's got a really good video about Rossi's, because it's back when this area was industrial. The third shift, Grim Evil knows about this, the third shift would get out. Sometimes you need a hard drink at 7 a.m. And places like Rossi's would provide that for the second and third shift for the factories back when this area was more industrial. Here's Mother Hubbard's. I bet this was some type of bar as well, but it probably changed. So now it's a sports bar here, Mother Hubbard's. And it's on Kenzie Street here, The Theory. So I need to come down this way more often here. There's a lot of bars. If you're just joining, we're in Chicago and River North. I got out of work here. See, across the street, you got Howl at the Moon, UMMO, whatever that is. This is Ela's grand opening. But here they got the Shakes, Fries, and damn good vibes here. Go to JoJo Shake Bar. Here's JoJo Shakespeare. JoJo Shakes Bar is all decorated for Halloween here. Let's check it out. Let's see what they got here. So they got, yeah, go to JoJo Shake Bar. They got the Connect Four. They got all the pumpkins there. Look at all the nice carved pumpkins they got there. Or they got it painted there. Yeah. So this is like a, to me, this is the best use of a service parking lot. Don't use it for cars, use it for drinking here. JoJo Shake Bar. There's Prince and Madonna. And these are all over the place. Rock Bar. Here's Rock Bar. O'Callahan's. Usually I go by these places on St. Patrick's Day party weekend and they're just packed. People coming down to see the Green River and stuff. Howl at the Moon's over there. I think this is the Boucherie. Le Grand Boucherie. There you go, the Grand Boucherie. And here's the Blue Sushi, Sake, and Grill here. Go to the Blue here. Look at all the lanterns they got there. Get some sake and get some sushi here. So see this is where the Leopold and Loeb trial happened. You see this courthouse here. This is where the Leopold and Loeb trial happened in the 1920s. Remember that infamous murder case there? Clarence Darrow was the lawyer. Clarence Darrow was also the lawyer in the Monkey Scopes trial, which was another huge, he was a household name in the 1920s as a lawyer. And not only was this where the Leopold and Loeb trial happened in Chicago, this is where the Haymarket, they hung 6 members of the Haymarket, and they probably did it in the alley behind here. And see, the North Haymarket Hall, erected in 1851. They used to be a Haymarket, no, Market Hall. There used to be a market here. Then the original Cornwall Courthouse, 1872, built right after the Great Chicago Fire. 20 years later, they tore it down to build this, 1892. And that was after the Haymarket. Maybe they wanted to get rid of it because it was haunted. But this building's probably haunted too. So here, let's cross the street and we'll show it from the other side here. So if just joined Kinsey, there's the Kinsey Hotel, there's the Marina Towers. Harry Carey's is right here. Here's Harry Carey's. I'll show it to you if there's no bikes in the bike lane here. I didn't walk past it, but there's Harry Carey's in Chicago. That's where they blew up the Bartman Ball right there. Harry Carey's. It's at that Dutch Revival, and there's the Marina Towers there. You get a better view of it right there. There's the, yeah. So here we'll head down. We're on Kinsey Street. So Chicago, Illinois, Leopold Loeb trial, this courthouse. Nice uplighting here. Hey, the Sip and Dip. Gus's Sip and Dip. Hey, they got the velvet rope there. I remember one time in my younger drinking years, I thought it was funny. I was drunk and I took a velvet rope and stole it and stuck it in my pants. I thought it was funny, and they probably had me on video. Look at this drunk guy stealing the velvet rope. What did it prove? But at the time, I thought it was the funniest thing in the world. Hey, Ramen-san here. Il Porcino, El Porcelino there. River North here. So normally we walk up Clark Street. There's got the nice lighted alley there. Yeah, we'll cross Clark Street here. We'll go by the Boss Bar. Very dangerous. So I was talking with a coworker of mine that grew up near Cicero and Oak Park, but outside the city limits. And he was recalling how in the 1970s and 80s he was beat up by the real street gangs that lived in Chicago. And there's still real gangs in Chicago. And Chicago's still a dangerous city. I know that, and I admit it. But I'm in River North here. We're in a pretty touristy area. Usually I get faulted for when I leave work. People are like, leave the tourist area there, go to someplace dangerous. And so this is not perceived as dangerous as other areas. Even though sometimes around the Red Line subway stations, you wouldn't want to be there at 4 a.m. even in River North. Because I have gone through there, and there's a lot of junkies sometimes and other interesting characters just roaming around. But here's Kitchen Karaoke here. Celeste. There's is that Enjoy or just Joy? There's the Goa Bar, Hub 116. This is a co-location work site we talk about. You see that at the top there with the round awning there? There's a if you belong to the Hub 116 there, you have access to an exclusive club up there with nice views of the skyline, I'm sure. And you can entertain your clients there if you belong to the club there. You went to the L on Roosevelt. Yeah. That's a dicey L there, the red and orange line and green line there. It's just, you know, I go through there all the time. I ride through there on my way to Midway. And I take the orange line, I take the green line south. The red line to Chinatown goes through there. Here we're crossing LaSalle Street. Here's the Board of Trade. That's looking south on LaSalle Street here. And you see how the trolleys used to go down underneath the river in the old days. And up there is used to be Michael Jordan's restaurant. And now it was the power plant for the old cable cars. So here we'll get the elevated CTA train there. It makes snakes around here. It jogs one block over from Wells Street to Franklin Street there. So there's the Purple Line, I think, going to Evanston. Purple Line Express heading north there towards the Chicago stop from the Merchandise Mart stop on the CTA train tracks there. Elevated trans tracks. Yeah, you know, I lived and worked in Chicago. I worked downtown before the pandemic. Trust me, rush hour was more a thing before the pandemic. Every once in a while on Friday nights or busy summer weekends we'll get a traffic jam, but not like it used to be busier. But traffic is picking up, but we're still down over 500,000 commuters that used to commute to downtown because so many people work from home and won't even come downtown. It's been that way for a long time. since the pandemic. But here's the Brown line. Here's the Brown line round the bend there. See, it's going to head to the Merchandise Mart station. Here's the Brown line going around the Kellogg's building here. There we go. In Chicago. Joe and the Juice. Missed the good folks. 65th and Stony Island. Hey, thanks for tuning in from the south side. That's great. Yeah, I got some reruns from 63rd. I know everybody asked me to go to 63rd Parkway Gardens. I've got the King Von mural. But yeah, 63rd and Cottage Grove is pretty much where the... no, Stony Island... That's further towards the lake there. That's near where the Obama Presidential Library, right? Yeah, we've got video of that too. Is that nearing completion? And we need to go. I need to go back down there. I really want to. When that opens, I want to give everybody a grand tour of it. We were down there a year ago. It was still under construction. Or no, we were there this spring. Sorry, we were like in May. We went to the Japanese Osaka Garden there in Jackson Park. I'm just getting out of work here, so I'm going to head over towards the new casino site. We filmed it last week. It's going up really fast. So, and I'm not going over here because I'm just for the casino. I'm going because I'm going further west in Lincoln Park to get the Barmy Scream House. I don't know if they'll have the lights on. There's underneath Franklin. That's underneath Franklin Street here. That's the back of the Merchandise Mart, Chicago, Illinois. What time we got here? 5:45. We're heading towards Clybourn. We'll angle up Clybourn eventually once we get up there. We got to get up to Division Street first, or even past Division Street. No, the hospitals are in Streeterville, so there's a lot of hospitals east of Michigan Avenue, north of the river in Chicago. That's called Streeterville. The Northwestern hospitals, the Children's Hospital was moved there, and the Women's Hospital are all there, south of Chicago, north of the river, and east of the East Bank clubs this way. We're over by the West Branch of the Chicago River. Let's see. There goes the train here. Hey, thanks, Jessica. Check it out there. So here we got the light here, so let's see if we can get across this first street. We got 12 seconds here. Let's see if we can get across. So this is this weird street that connects down to Kinsey, so you can get up to, this is Orleans Street. And there's the back of the Salesforce Tower, Wolf Point. Mr. Beef's up that way. Does anybody want to see Mr. Beef? I can head by Mr. Beef. And then we can head straight over to the casino site. So we'll go up and check out Mr. Beef here. And is anybody coming, returning? See the East Bank clubs there. We usually walk up Kingsbury. This is Orleans here, so we'll head up to Mr. Beef here.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, we used to go by Mr. Beef all the time, and then they started putting the shades up in the window. I used to be able to stream and look in there so you could see the filming location there that's modeled off of the bear there. Jeremy Allen White there. I guess he was in a different movie that was filmed in Chicago. I don't know if it's come out yet. There's a Petco here. Ace Hardware. There's that church. I think it's a Catholic church there. Forget the name. There, the Assumption Catholic Church there. It's on the sign. Good. So hey, here's Orleans and Illinois here. We'll head straight north. And I should cross the street there because we'll have to cross at Huron there because there's not a crosswalk when the access to the highway there. So you see how they stuck all these balconies. You see a lot of this in West Loop River North. So let me show you Gene and Georgetti's. I should have just walked up Franklin Street. I didn't make the decision to go to. We are still going to go see Mr. Beef. I want to show you Gene and Georgetti's, this nice Italian steakhouse, as we always show. Gibson's and Morton's and the other steakhouses. We'll show Gene and Georgetti's. Frank Sinatra really liked this place when he used to come to Chicago. There's the Brown Line heading south. And we'll go right underneath those elevated tracks here. Welcome to Chicago. How's everybody doing here? Thanks for tuning in. We got about 58 degrees. We got 5:48 in the PM, Chicago, Illinois. We're in River North. We're almost to Franklin. And is this Illinois Street? I think so. Hey, Pups Pet Club there. Yeah, they got some Halloween painting there. Gene and Georgetti, Chicago's finest since 1941. Gene and Georgetti's is an Italian steakhouse here. Frank Sinatra liked it. And it's still here underneath the elevated CTA tracks, an iconic location here for Chicago, Illinois, and Franklin Street. Look, Gene Michelotti corner. I guess he was probably associated with Gene and Georgetti. There it is. Frank Sinatra loved this place. And he also liked the Twin Anchors and the pump room. And I learned that from the nice gentleman that gave us the good historical anecdote there. But I'm sure he went to other places. It wasn't just limited to those three. Those are probably the most well-known ones, though. So you didn't hang out at Frank's. Frank's was a bar on Clark Street, but it sadly closed down. Anybody remember Frank's there? There's a little shotgun bar at like St. James and Clark Street. No, nothing lasts. But hey, we're underneath the L tracks here. We'll head over to see Mr. Beef here. I just want to show that. So this is Franklin, and this is Grand Avenue. Grand Avenue. They're working on. They ground off the asphalt, so all the streets all messed up. Yeah, you got to go up the bump there. Hey, you got Alcera rugs here. A lot of rugs, a lot of furniture. Vendors associated with the Merchandise Mart, interior design vendors around this area. Okay, good question. So, when Chicago was developing its elevated mass transit system, there was a lot of steel mills that surrounded Chicago, not just Chicago, but other industrial cities like Pittsburgh and Cleveland and Detroit at that time. And so, steel was abundant, and that's probably why when the first companies, they were private companies. It wasn't a public improvement. It wasn't like the taxpayers built it. It was for-profit companies that got financing to build competing elevated tracks. The first one was the Green Line. It went from what became the Loop of Chicago, which was already the Loop because the trolley lines would loop around the Chicago, and that's why it was originally called the Loop. And then the elevated trains eventually developed their own loop so the trains could come in and loop around and head back out. And it's a really tight loop, only 7 blocks long by 5 blocks wide. Nothing concentrates more than railroad stations. And so that's why the loop became so dense, skyscrapers, all that. But the Green Line, they probably because steel was cheap and abundant, it was cheaper, more cost effective at that time to put the elevated tracks above ground. Chicago's been corrupt for a long time. I'm sure they greased the palms of aldermen to get the right-of-way above the streets. And imagine if you lived along these streets and one day they're like, we're going to build an elevated train track right in front of your house, which happened to some people. Sometimes they would go in the alley behind the house. And people just, you know, there was no zoning at that time. There was no, you know, if you had the money and political connections, they just rammed it through. And so this line, the Brown Line, I think was built around 1899 or 1900. It came later. So here, let's back up here. There's the purple line heading north there. But later, Chicago has 2 lines that are subways, but they're not subways the whole way. The red and blue lines are subways. The blue line goes to O'Hare and Forest Park. The other way goes through the downtown Chicago. The red line goes from 95th on the south side all the way to Howard on the north side, which is up by Evanston. both of those have subway sections only in the downtown, and those were built later in the 1940s. There was a brown line. It's really loud. Now they recently made improvements to portions of the red line and other lines with that flyover there up by Wrigley Field, and it's much quieter. The new concrete elevated tracks, but these old ones, like this, I said, this was the brown line came later. The brown line was originally called the Ravenswood line, and then the red line was its own thing. And there was actually Logan Square. You would go west and then you would go north, and they vacated some of those tracks. And here we'll head across. And Jennifer You Should Eat has a nice rerun about that. Here's Fairgrounds. Well, we'll head over to Mr. Beef here. Hey, the Big F. I'm missing the comments here. Logan Square. I used to live in Logan Square. Yeah, Chicago misses you. Red Hot Ranch. Yeah, it is. I know PZL's still out. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's good. Grace, Kira, Angie. Merchandise Mart, Wacker Drive. Yeah, Minnesota. Trees are still really green. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, a lot of times, how you doing? A lot of times the trees won't. Yeah, how you doing? Yeah, Brian Really Chicago. How you doing? Yeah, thanks for saying hello. St. Louis. What do you think of Chicago?
We love Chicago.
I love St. Louis.
Good food.
Yeah.
Wait, let me record you. Wait.
I'm Brian Really Chicago, so yeah.
You from Chicago?
Yeah, I'm from Chicago.
Wait, let me record you.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
Okay. Wait. Time out. How do you like St. Louis?
Oh, I love St. Louis. I love the parks. It's not just the arts. You got beautiful, like the Soulard District. Yeah, isn't that nice? What's some of the good clubs there? You know.
The Martree.
Yeah.
Fahrenheit. What else? What's that? Eclipse.
Yeah.
Try it out.
Good.
We love Chicago.
Good. Well, hey, have a good time. Yeah, video it.
All right,
That's great. Yeah, shake it.
What's your ad? So
Okay. Yeah, Brian Really Chicago. Just run it all. BrianReally. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, guys, he loves St. Louis. Wait,
No, it's pointing this way. So I'm pointing. I'm a true live streamer where I point the city.
Record my sister, yes.
Period. Get him the followers so he can get me.
Wait, come on, wait, turn me.
There you go. There you go. See, I'm filming you right here. I'm filming this way.
He said pointed to me.
I got to record it. He loves St. Louis, bitch.
Oh, not so cute.
So I hope you have a good time. You gonna be here for Halloween, or are you Brian Really Chicago? Brian Really.
He said he loves Chicago.
Follow him.
He's vlogging me.
Yeah.
He said we some bad bitties.
Yeah.
He gonna be here for Halloween.
Oh, really?
He said
Good.
for Halloween. What you got?
I'm gonna go up to. I'm not gay, but I'm gonna go up to Boys Town because they have the best costumes. They have a costume contest, Boys Town, Chicago. So check it out. It's in Halstead, North Halstead. It's up by Wrigley Field, Boys Town. Yeah. Oh yeah. Go. Yeah.
They just got in it. Period. We going to that.
Go to Sidetrack. It's a dance club. It's right on Halstead. Check it out. And Halloween, they put on a great Halloween show. They're gonna have a Halloween costume contest on Halstead. So hey, thanks for saying St. Louis. That is great. Thank you. That is great. Yeah. So hey, that's great. See, we met some friends and neighbors from St. Louis. That's great. They're gonna stay here for Halloween, and so very nice. Yeah. See, she was. Look at a cute little puppy there. She was confused because she thought I was filming myself, but I was filming her, and the whole time I was filming her, she's like, stop filming yourself. I'm like, I am filming you, because she thought it was pointed on me, but I stream this way. So hey, thanks for staying on here. We're gonna head over towards Orleans and Erie here. Look at the moon. The moon's up. The moon's up there. I want to get across the street here. We got 5 seconds. So there's Mr. Beef. There's the Green Door Tavern. So we'll head right up here. Thanks for staying on here. We'll eventually get to Halloween decorations. But first, I'm sure you know I'm missing all the comments here. Here's Mr. Beef. So if you've seen The Bear, Jeremy Allen White, This is the inspiration for the beef. Or the bear. They call it the original beef when they film it. That sometimes they change the sign. See, there he is, Jeremy Allen White. Jay Leno claims he slept in that parking lot when he was early in his stand-up career. But here's Mr. Beef here, established 1979. Hey, they got the windows open. So, hey, does this look like, if you've seen this TV show there on FX and Hulu, here's the original beef. That's the Misfits. Happy Halloween. So there's the counter. Does that look like the show there, Mr. Beef there? There, they got the Blackhawks there, the elegant dining room. There it is. There's the bear. There's the poster. So this is where the inspiration for the bear there. And there it is. Mr. Beef there. Yeah, Kira, check it out here. There, Mr. Beef here on Orleans here. Oops. There it is, the original beef. And right next to it is the Green Door Tavern. There's a speakeasy here, a historically significant speakeasy. It's called the Drifter. You got to go into the Green Door, you go to the back. It's actually down there. And the real speakeasy, that the Green Door, is down underneath this building. It had doors in the back and on the sides, and you had to go to the back. You enter the Green Door, which is an amazing place. They got a bunch of kitsch on the wall. We've gone in here many times. If you can't come in, smile as you go by. We'll just give you a peek in here, and we've gone in here before. Here's the Green Door Tavern. Look how nice it is. Look how much kitsch they got on the wall here. They got a wonderful bar here. This is the Green Door Tavern. And I'll show you how eventually, if you, on weekends, you got to take reservations. It usually fills up. You can go to the speakeasy, and you go down to the bottom here. They got, Chris would love this. They have these old antique pinball games, and they got the old, you weigh yourself. But you see this? Would you notice where the door is? You see this knob? You see this knob right here? It's locked right now, but sometimes that's open. That's how you get to the Drifter, and that's where the speakeasy is. Right there. You see there's a door right there. And Anthony gave us a tour the last time we were here, which was a long time ago. Look, we saw that. That picture is in the Burwood Tap. The Burwood Tap, and we've been there. But this is they're using it in another Chicago bar. They got this game. They got a Playboy pinball machine. Hey, here's a classic right here. There's a Playboy pinball machine in the Green Door Tavern here, Chicago, Illinois. Hey, thanks for hanging out at the bar here. Oh, this is great. They got the shake the Uncle Ham, shake the hand with Uncle Sam there. It's got the little finger that vibrates. That's very nice. How you doing?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, I'm Brian.
I follow you on TikTok.
Oh, good. How you doing? What's your name?
I'm Janet.
Janet, nice to say. I'm Brian, really Chicago. Nice to meet you. Yeah, Brian, really Chicago. Yeah.
Do you mind if I get a picture?
Go ahead, get a picture. And I'm on YouTube now because I'm getting away from TikTok, but I'm still streaming on YouTube. Thanks for recognizing me. Yeah.
Well, awesome. No, you walked by and I recognized your voice. And what's your TikTok handle?
It's the same, Brian Really Chicago. Okay. There's a link in my bio on TikTok.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for saying that.
Yeah, be safe out there, okay?
This is great. I was showing them like how to get to the Drifter, and I know it's crazy with ice. It's crazy. Yeah. Hey, that's good. Hey, that's good. So here, friends and neighbors there. So here's where we were at. Green Door Tavern. There it is. And look at that. Very nice. See the moon. There's the moon. When you get caught between the moon and Chicago. I know it's New York City, but it can happen in Chicago too. See, there's the John Hancock. So hey, let's head over to the river here. Let's check out the casino site here. So here, the Green Door Tavern. If we cross the street here, I'll show you how this little building leans. There's on the side here, the Green Door Tavern. You see this little building? It racks. It leans. It leans because it's wood frame construction. This building is one of the rare buildings that was built quickly after the Great Chicago Fire. It probably goes back to the 1870s, at least this portion, and that's why it leans against the back of the Green Door Tavern. That's how old this place is, and it survived Prohibition. At least the Drifter did. Well, no, the green door did. It was like a regular business storefront. And we'll head over towards the casino site here. Yeah, YouTube. So Mr. Beef is closed for the day. They open every day. They close early because they mainly, their main business is like lunch. And since it's probably Monday, maybe later in the week, they'll be open. But yeah, they're just closed for the day. Trust me. Usually walk by there in the morning and they're getting bread. And they sell so many sandwiches a day, and then once they sell them, they're done for the day. So well, you can go to Al's Beef and Johnny's in Elmwood Park. There's many other good Italian beef places there. Did it stream okay when we were in there? Did I cut out when I went in the basement? I might have lost it. Yeah, the bathroom. Yeah, the bathroom from the Signature Lounge. At least the women's restroom, from what I heard. I haven't gone in there, but the men's, you couldn't see anything. But the women's restroom, yeah, it was a really good view, or what I've heard. And sadly, now the Signature Room and Lounge has been closed for 2 years, at least. The observation deck's still open on the 94th, and there's a bar, and you get like a few bites to eat there, but it's not the same at all. But hey, if you just joined me in Chicago, we're going to head over. Quickly, just take a quick look at the casino site, and then we'll head under Montgomery Ward's and start heading up looking for Halloween decorations in Lincoln Park. Your wife met at Guthrie's. You and your wife met at Guthrie's Tavern. That's great. Hey, Ryan. Hey, the memories there. Yeah. Get caught between the moon and New York City, Christopher Cross. Yeah. When you get caught between the moon. It's like yacht rock. Hey, Deluxe. Hey, thanks for tuning in here. We're seeing some cool stuff tonight. So this area is very residential. It's very kind of quiet. It's kind of this off the beaten path area, River North. There's some beautiful housing here. Huron, we're on Huron Street, 1440 Huron. Yeah, they got a fountain here. Look at that. Very nice. How you doing? Nice fountain. There's nice housing here. Yeah, this is very expensive housing here on Huron Street because it's so close to the loop in Michigan Avenue. It looks like a beautiful sunset. We'll head straight over to the river here. England, how you doing there, Denise? Tracy? Ryan? Yeah. Margie R. Yeah, I'm about... Next year I'll turn 50. So I didn't see, it's all just the little spider webs. There's not really much Halloween decorations, not like the Gold Coast. The Gold Coast has many more Halloween decorations than this area, so I don't usually walk through here this time of year. Yeah, so the Hugh Hefner's original Playboy Mansion, I know exactly where you're talking about. That's on State Street between Banks and Schiller. That's north of us. We're not in the Gold Coast. We're still in River North. So normally I walk that area on my way home. Later this week we'll go by, if you follow along here, trust me, eventually we'll walk by the original Playboy Mansion there, and before they moved to Beverly Hills there. Look at the pattern of the balconies. You want a balcony? Wow, it looks like a beautiful sunset here, so we'll head over towards the dog park here, and we'll head down and check out the casino here really quickly. We'll go down there. I didn't plan my route right. I'm zigging and zagging and walking out of my way, but it's okay. The best laid plans. Akira, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Yeah, I agree, Anita. I agree. It seems like last year there was a lot more Halloween decorations than this year. I think people really got into it after the pandemic because I guess people were bored and they had extra money to buy Halloween decorations, just like everybody decorated their rooms and would live stream from their rooms and decorate everything. And now we're all getting out and about in public here. What's that sign? That's a weird sign. Morning. But we're over by the North Branch Chicago River. The old Montgomery Wards is over here. And we'll head down to the Riverwalk. I want to see this construction crane. They're building the permanent Bally's Casino site south of Goose Island on the west side of the North Branch of Chicago River, which used to be the Chicago Tribune Freedom Center where they printed the Sunday newspapers and stuff. And so we'll head right back past down the dog park. We're at Laura B. and Huron. Laura B. and Huron, Chicago, Illinois here. We got about 58 degrees. There's a dog park here. Yeah, you remember we walked. See, there's the top of the Sears Tower. There's that water tower. How you doing there, doggy? Yeah, how you doing? Very nice. So, hey, they're going to the dog park there. Yeah, let's check out. See, there's the new casino. There's the, I think that's the hotel portion. And then we'll see the casino portion. And here's the nice dog park here. And this is in River North. I guess that's what they call this. And there's your new hotel for the Bally's Casino under construction here. This is new construction. Yeah, Denise is tuning in from England. That's great. Thanks everybody. Thanks for saying hello. See, we're all connected. We're all connected. Look at the, yeah, they got all that bracing in there. I can't wait until eventually when this opens and see the water taxis come over here and they'll have a stop. And then people pull their pleasure craft. It'll just be like the Riverwalk. People will pull their boats up here to go to the casino. Because it's not just going to be a casino. It's also going to be an entertainment venue. They're going to have a hotel. And I'm sure they're going to have restaurants and other amusements. And here, look at this nice view. You get the moon there. See the big mound of dirt there. Here's the hotel. And there's the new casino gaming floor, I assume. You see how it connects. It's going to connect all the way over there. This is south of Chicago. Halstead's over there. This is looking west. And this is the future Bally's permanent casino site here in Chicago. Thanks for tuning in here. Thanks. Thanks for paying for peace there, Megan. I appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in from West Africa. I really appreciate that. See, we're all connected. That's awesome. And yeah, we hope things get better. Yeah, West Africa. That is awesome. Tracy, thanks for tuning in there. Ireland, how you doing there? Miss the blue skies, yeah. Ireland's nice too. Thanks for tuning in there. Yeah, born and lived in Chicago as a child. Now you live in Ireland. That's great. Very nice. Sears Tower, you got it. Yeah, I call it the Sears Tower. Sears Tower is the name of the company that built it, Sears. So here, see, this is like a portion of the Riverwalk that doesn't connect with the other Riverwalk, but it's planned to. They just kind of need to find a way to get by the East Bank Club there. Maybe they can do a wild mile that floats in the river, get around the East Bank Club. But here's the casino construction here. See, Goose Island's up there. They want to build some housing at the southern tip of Goose Island. We'll see if that comes to fruition. But now we're going to go underneath the former offices for Montgomery Wards, the mail order catalog Montgomery Wards. Look at that nice view of the One Chicago Tower through the gap there. And this riverfront esplanade is underneath the, up there is the distribution warehouse, and this is the offices for Montgomery Ward. So I'm sure you heard of Sears Roebuck. Before Sears Roebuck, there was Montgomery Ward's, which was the first one. They actually had better quality merchandise. Montgomery Ward was a major player in the development of Chicago, famously fought with Marshall Field over the placement of the Field Museum. Montgomery Ward won out, and that's why the Buckingham Fountain's in the center of Grant Park instead of the giant museum, which got pushed to the south with Field's name on it. But hey, here's the casino in Chicago. Look at that. Look at the nice grading of the sky here. There you can look back to the hotel. This is the North Branch Chicago River. We're across from the former Montgomery Ward site. This is where the Chicago Tribune Freedom Center distribution, that's the last part of it left. See how it says Chicago Tribune on the side? They want to make that a haunted house. I don't know if that happened or not. Did anybody go into the haunted house there? I wanted to go across this bridge, but they closed this bridge, both the pedestrians and vehicle traffic. So we'll quickly peer across to the southern tip of Goose Island. I don't see, let's see if we see any construction cranes or anything. I don't see anything. But here, this is, we're going to go under the abutment in the old bridge house. I don't know if the new bridge is going to be a bascule bridge or not. This one's not. This was a temporary bridge, and that's why they got to replace it. Chicago Avenue at Larrabee here. There you go. You go up the stairs there. Huh. But here, we'll go around the bridge house here. How you doing? Hey, there's some real spider webs. They're going to do a bridge lift possibly on Wednesday, probably, because the weather's going to be nice. Or it's going to be sunny. I don't know. I better check it. There's a chance of rain. I saw a lot of sun, though. Yeah, it looks like a big yacht. So there is a Goose Island brewery. I know it's confusing. The actual Goose Island brewery that I know of, where you can go there and get a beer, and the microbrew, is in West Loop. It's north of the United Center. It's over by the Damon stop on the Green Line. This is Goose Island. That's what it's named after. 312 Goose Island beer. There is a real island called Goose Island. It's a man-made island. They cut a canal so they could develop the industrial real estate. But there's the so here we'll head up and we'll go up Larrabee. And we'll start heading towards Clybourn Avenue here. What time we got? 6:15. That'd be a good haunted house, you're right. So there's whatever, it's like some spa there. We're actually in the Montgomery Ward building here. Some interesting interior design here. Look at the lighting. We saw it last week, but I don't know if I walked underneath that portion of Montgomery Ward there. Yeah. So we're going to walk through where the former Cabrini Green used to be. See, that's the Yamasaki was the architect of that. That's the old Montgomery Ward's office tower that they built later in like 1970. Yamasaki's the same architect that did the World Trade Center, the ones that were destroyed in New York City. He did this right before he did the World Trade Centers. And here we'll head up. They call this 600 West, or 600 North. What is it? 600 West Chicago. It's the old Montgomery Wards here. Yeah, 600. It's on the parking garage there. We'll head down the stairs here. Hey, we'll go by Betty's. Let's go by Betty's. We haven't gone by Betty's in a while. Betty's cooking school. If you got date night, go to Betty's cooking school there. It's the 50s style. We did a tour of it. I got a rerun of it. Or one of the great staff there. She showed me around and all the 50s. Betty herself is a huge guru on social media. She has like hundreds of thousands of followers on YouTube and TikTok. She's got multiple accounts. Betty, Chicago there. I'm sure you probably ran across your recipes. There's 600 West. See how they reconverted the Montgomery Wards here, or adaptively reused it. This is all housing. This is all housing on this side, I think. There's some offices. There's some offices mixed with housing. Yeah, there's some offices mixed with housing. Here, we'll cross. Here, let's go by Betty's. Let's see if they're, well, it's Monday night, so probably nothing's going on. House of Dynamite. No, it's not that building. Looks like a prison. Yeah, that's how a lot of modernist buildings looked in the 1970s. They built office buildings that look like prisons, I know. But here's Betty Chicago. That's what I was talking about. See, Betty Chicago, a cooking and baking school. Date night classes, cooking classes, baking workshops, private parties. Check out Betty Chicago. I got a rerun. You can message me. The nice person, colleague of Betty there, she showed me around. Regular Betty Crocker here. I don't know what they sell here, but oh, it's all Funyuns and munchies there. A lot of munchy food. But here, if you just join me, we're on Larrabee. This is north of Chicago. We're going to head straight up towards Clybourn. And then we'll be in Lincoln Park in a lickety split. We'll start looking for Halloween decorations. we'll zig and zag and we'll zig and zag. And we'll get over to the Barbie Scream House. I'm afraid they won't have the lights on tonight because it's Monday. I should have went there Friday night, but I was too tired. I actually, on my bike home, I rode a bike. I didn't take the train. I rode a bike back, divvy bike back. And I was so tired I didn't want to live stream. But I went near the Barbie Scream House, but I should have at least checked it out, but I forgot to do it. I was so fatigued. It was a really long week last week. But hey, thanks for tuning in here Monday night. Hello. Is that when the time changes? November the 2nd? Yeah, the time changes this upcoming weekend here. Yeah, it's starting to get dark. So yeah, it's 6:19 here local time. Wait till this time next week. It'll be dark when I'm getting out of work at 5 o'clock. It's quite a shock when, you know, it starts to get, and like December 21st, it starts getting dark at like 4:30. Now, if you go to Canada or Alaska, it's even much earlier. So here's Unicorn World. I think it's kids' clothing. I don't know much about it, but we'll show it here. Looks like a pretty nice place here. You got this big flower sculpture. And here's another place here, I think, associated with it too. So here, Lara B. And see, we'll see some of the new housing they're building here finally after years and decades after tearing down Cabrini Green here. There you see those are the last remaining portions of Cabrini Green there. There's one street, I got a rerun where we walk right down the street there. We'll get a nice view of the skyline if I lift my selfie stick to get above this fence. Yeah, look at that beautiful view. That's the skyline of Chicago. The John Hancock, the one Chicago Tower, that's Michigan Avenue. The Gold Coast is all up that way. And we're in the former Cabrini Green area on the RV here. And there you look back to the Trump Tower, the one Chicago Tower, the John Hancock, the 900 North Michigan building. Yeah, hope I'm blessed there. Kira, Anita, thanks for helping out there. Sue B. That's okay, better late than never. We haven't even gotten to the Halloween decorations, so you're just in time. And that's the great thing about YouTube. You could rewind. If you missed any part of this live, we went inside the Green Door Tavern. We talked to the nice women there from St. Louis, and they were dancing for us. And having a good time. They're going to stay through Halloween. That's good. So we might see them partying Halloween there. That's great. So, hey, people walking the dog. See, there's this nice housing here. How you doing there, doggy? Yeah. We'll head up towards, there's a fire station and a police station up this way. And this area has changed so much. You should have saw it was completely different when I moved here in 1999. This was the heart of Cabrini Green. I would not be able to walk through here. I would have been chased out. They'd be like, who sent you? Especially recording. That's why people often ask me to go to dangerous areas. I'm like, you know, it's even worse now because of ICE. You know, everybody's streaming all the time, and then you got someone trying to tackle you, you know, whether you're a U.S. citizen or not. And I shouldn't even bring that up because now we're going to get a bunch of stupid comments. Here, look at the nice, that's the new housing there. We go by that. That's just south of the Wayman Church there. That's on Cleveland Street, whatever this street is. And look at that beautiful view. Look, you see why there was so much pressure for development. It was always amazing, the juxtaposition of Cabrini Green. And then you look right off in the distance and see the gleaming towers of corporate America there. At one time, such immense poverty next to it, such immense wealth, which kind of describes America, doesn't it? We're a very wealthy nation, but it's not evenly distributed, and that's the problem. And we're such a wealthy country, why are people so worried about, I don't know, I'll get off of this. But hey, look at that nice view. John Hancock, the one Chicago Tower over to the Trump Tower. And here we'll see Laura B. And of course the street I want to see is ripped off. So here, the Holy Family Church here. Here's the Holy Family Lutheran Church. And we're south of the Vision, so we'll head straight up past the police station. There's the police station parking lot. And 2 years ago, when there was the migrant crisis was at its peak, this police station, Addison, the ones on the south side and Pilsen we went by, they all had migrant tent encampments, but that only lasted until the end of 2023. We got videos of that. We used to walk through here when I used to live stream on TikTok. Yeah, we get my steps in. I'm a weirdo that's always walking, but I work it into my commute, so it actually serves a purpose. Even though I'm going way out of my way tonight, I'm basically just walking home from work. I'm just taking a longer route so we can check out Halloween decorations that we might have missed. And there's one specifically I want to check out that's in the far western part of Lincoln Park, almost towards Bucktown, but it's still on the east side of the river there near Pequod's Pizza, Webster and Clybourn. I want to check out. So thanks for sticking on there. We'll eventually get to Halloween decorations. It just takes me a while. So I usually do about 10 miles a day. Today I'll probably do about 12 because we'll end up doing 5 miles tonight. I usually do 3.5 miles both to work and home, but when we go out of our way, a few slight deviations make it 4 to 5 miles. I usually walk about 3 miles at lunch, or maybe two and a half, maybe, or just 2. But we went along the river walk. And the reason I walk at lunch, because I usually don't have time on my normal commute to work to check out the Bean and the Loop of Chicago, or the South Loop, or the River Walk, and so that's what we do. Sometimes we even go to Navy Pier at lunchtime, but I don't have much time to stay there because it's my lunch break. There's Chicago Police Department here. This is at Larrabee and Division Street. But my fellow Chicago live streamers know you kind of get motivated to keep on streaming. People tune in and you say, oh, keep live streaming. Now I'm starting to post my reruns to a podcast. I might not do this one to a podcast because it's just a veg walk home, but like in the morning I actually go through news articles in the New York Times and the Chicago Tribune, and we check sports and the weather, and I'm trying to, run this like a podcast. Here's the target. Here's the target at Division. Here's the Chicago Fire Department, engine number 4, tower ladder number 10. There's an ambulance here as well. I can't tell what the ambulance is here, but yeah, the Chicago Fire Department here, a firehouse. And we're at RB. And we'll head up to Clybourn here. This is a Target, a Target. Here's this housing. I'll show you how the parking lot is underneath. The parking lot's underneath the Target. So you go here, you go up the escalator, and the big box retail's all up there. It's just like a big box Target. Take your shopping cart. And here's the parking. All the parking for the Target. There's a grocery store there is below. And there's a lot of Targets in Chicago like this where they put the parking underneath the big box. Isn't that, it's a more efficient use of land. Instead of having the surface in front of it, you put it on top, and it still works for a big box retail. And again, this used to be Cabrini Green. There used to be housing there, public housing. They tore it down from like 1999 to 2011. Took them a long time. Yeah, great use of space there. Thanks, Kira. Marco, how you doing there? Deontay. Yeah, Scott James. Hey, Scott James, thanks for tuning in there. Lambie T, thanks for being on G. How you doing there? Angie Love, yeah. Thank you. Thanks for subscribing, Ryan. I appreciate it. It's free. You can subscribe for free. Thanks for giving me a little bookmark there. Yeah, Brian, really, Chicago. Hey, well, you ever see the movie Candyman? Yeah, we'll go by this church that was used in Candyman. There's a school here. These are some of the empty lots still left over from the former Cabrini Green. We're going to angle up Clybourn. We'll be up to north in Clybourn, lickety split. There, I see the train, the elevated train going across there. Yeah, thanks, Anita. Yeah, we if you make, we're pretty forgiving. My moderators are great, but if you keep making misleading or ignorant comments over and over, we'll just simply mute you because you're not doing yourself or anybody else a favor. We're actually doing you a favor by saving yourself from making ignorant comments. Thanks, Anita. Appreciate it. We get all kinds of stuff. I'm trying to get to him, Pete. Patience, Pete. Everything takes time. When you walk, you can go eat dinner, come back in 20 minutes. Then we'll show you some Halloween decorations, okay? We gotta walk up Clybourn. Anita and I noticed there doesn't seem there's many Halloween decorations this year. Maybe it's because people are depressed in Chicago. But here's the Shaolin Kung Fu. Look, they're on the second floor. They're doing the Kung Fu, practicing. Got their sensei. Cobra Kai. Here, go to your Shaolin Kung Fu. That was karate. Karate's different than Kung Fu. Kung Fu's Chinese, karate's Japanese, Jiu-Jitsu's Brazilian. They got many types of martial arts and mixed martial arts and no holds barred. Who will take a bet with me? I bet you $5 that before it's all over, once the ballroom's built over the east wing there, they're building a ballroom on the east wing. I'm sure you saw it and they tore it down. I bet you $5 that before it's all over, they'll have an Ultimate Fighting cage match inside that ballroom at the White House. I bet you $5. Because, you know, they love, for some reason, it's because Trump used to be in the WWE. He knew all the people there, and he's a great showman there. And I'm sure he would love to have this Gilded Age ballroom where they have Ultimate Fighting there and somebody breaks a leg and there's bleeding out there in the octagon right there in the White House. I'm sure they would love that. Wow, what happened to this car? We have to cross the street to see this car. I feel bad for this car. So here, we'll cross the street here. Here we're crossing at Clybourn and Larrabee and Clybourn. That Larrabee heads up, becomes Geneva Terrace, eventually stops once you get to Lincoln Park. It doesn't connect all the way through. Look at this car. I don't know how long this has been here, and I don't know when the trunk happened, but look, I just noticed this. Does anybody else notice how long has this car been here? So it looks like this car, someone got into the trunk and kind of peeled it open here, and it's a beautiful, what kind of car is this? It's a 98. Look at that, they're checking it out there. Look at that, it's got, I'll keep my distance here, they might be, but yeah, this car, something happened here. But here, we'll keep going. Let me get out of the bike lane here so I don't get run over by a bike. They're checking it out. See, look at it. Look at that amazing view you get to the, so here's the car we just saw. And here's the Sears Tower there. Look at that. There's the moon. So there's the moon. And there's the Sears Tower there. Yeah, I guess it could be part of Halloween there. It's the Halloween car. It'd be if it was a hearse. Yeah, the Grim Evil. They put a maybe somebody had to escape from the trunk. Maybe somebody was in the trunk and they had to get out. They peeled it open like Hulk Hogan's strength. Well, here we'll cross the street here. It looks like they got some lights on the trees there. They probably will leave these up for Christmas. I don't think they're Halloween lights. But here's Clybourn and the red line subway's underneath it. These empty lots are where Cabrini Green used to be. And there's that church. This church was used in Candyman. And there used to be a mural on it, but they painted over it, which angered me. I liked the mural there, but it was kind of peeling and stuff. So for some reason they changed it. This is the Noble School. This school was here when Cabrini Green was here. Yeah, it's a shame about that car. I feel bad for whoever's car that is. Hopefully that didn't just happen. And I didn't mean to be like exploiting it. It's newsworthy. It's interesting. It's just I've never seen a trunk peeled open like that, just sitting on the side of the street, especially in a 98. It was a nice classic car, convertible. Yeah, it was a beautiful car. Yeah, Candyman. I know it's scary. There's the Candyman that came out in 92, and then there's the Candyman that came out in more recently. See the Noble School. No, it shows you how freaky. I mean, imagine how freaky it had to be living in those housing towers, you know. And that's what that movie. They would go look behind the sink, and there would be like a chase behind there, like a gap between the building next to them, and they could get to the units on the other side. And it was freaky, you know, and there's downtown Chicago. Today we'll go by the AMC. We'll go by this new development here. Here we're at this is where Ogden Avenue used to come through at an angle. It doesn't come through anymore, but it's still called. They still call it Ogden Avenue. This is the only sign I know left that says Ogden Avenue. It's where it crosses Clybourn before you get to Ogden on the other side of the river. Ogden used to cross Goose Island like a causeway, but they removed it. You see this angle? That's the exact angle that Ogden used to run. It used to diagonal up through Lincoln Park. Here's Mariano's AMC. There's a parking garage with the soccer fields up there. They got a Dick's Sporting Goods, AMC, Mariano's, which is a grocery store. They got Saks Fifth Avenue and bowling alley. They got King's Bowl here. And there's a Whole Foods Market over by the river. There's an REI, a Wild Mile, but this is the Mariano's. And they built this about 15 years ago. How long has it been here? Oh yeah, that Isubi, we get that comment a lot. We might have talked about that before. Yeah, that would often happen if people took a wrong turn off the highway and were trying to get downtown and ended up in Cabrini Green. And that would happen on the south side and the west side too. People would be like, get out of here. You know, that's why I said it wouldn't. When Cabrini Green was at its zenith as far as scariness, like 1992 when Dantrell Davis was killed there, you wouldn't want to walk through there. The gangs were taking pot shots at each other from the rooftops. They would have snipers on the roof. They would throw rocks at the taxis. You know, it really lived up to the hype, you know. That guy's got to make some noise. So you get a sporty muscle car there, and you got to make some noise and waste some gas. Cybertruck. Hey, so AMC, one battle after another. Kiss the Spider Woman, Smashing Machine, Roofman, After the Hunt. There's the movie showing at the AMC here, Clybourn. The Red Line subway. There's a Red Line subway stop up here by the Apple Store. There's a little area we can walk through here. What's new to eat? Yeah, they got this nice little, there's like a fountain with rocks there, and you can get to the bowling alley and the restaurants and stuff that way. This is North and Clybourn area here, Chicago. Yeah, jealous? Yeah, grim. You know how it used to be. Yeah, they for your own safety. They're like, it's too dangerous. Yet they lived there. That's good. Well, you know what it was like. Yeah, Robert Taylor homes were on the south side. The Stateway Gardens were on the south side. Robert Taylor's were larger than Cabrini Green. You could see them from the Dan Ryan for miles along the, it went north to south there, Federal Avenue. We've walked through there. And on the west side, north of the United Center, the original United Center, the old one that they tore down, it used to be the Henry Horner homes. On the west side, you go by the Green Line, you go right by them, and they tore all those down too. There is a few left, but not many, not the big, huge ones. They came down, Pruitt-Igoe in St. Louis. New York City still has a lot of massive, from the Robert Moses days, they got massive housing developments, not only in the Bronx and Brooklyn, but even in Manhattan. They got huge Stuyvesant Village, or Stuyvesant Town. It's amazing how large the public housing developments are in New York City. Larger than Chicago. Chicago's are mostly gone. Here's the Dick's Sporting Goods. They call this New City. So this is North and Clybourn here. There's the Apple Store. How we doing here? Zadar City, how you doing there? Yeah. Devon. Yeah, I got all my teeth. So here we'll cross, oops, the car's gonna get me there. So here's some nice housing here on Halstead. This is Halstead. You go south there, it goes to West Loop and Greektown. You go north, it becomes Lakeview and Boys Town. It goes through Lincoln Park first though. But here we'll go by the Apple store here. This is Halstead and Clybourn. We'll head by the red line north of Clybourn stop. But there's the New City thing. We just went by. Yeah, there's a lot of commercial around here. There's the Apple store downtown that we walk by all the time there by the River Walk, or the river, and then this is the one at North and Clybourn. This Apple store did contribute money for the improvement of the North and Clybourn station, so again, kudos to Apple for doing that, but I guess that's how they got this location too. So, hey, hang out at the Apple store here, North and Clybourn, Chicago, Illinois. We'll head across here. See, they got a nice fountain square here, the North and Clybourn Red Line station, which is a subway, and we'll head right through here. Hey, who wants to see my face? Yeah, how you doing there? Thanks for tuning in there. Here's North and Clybourn. I got to show my face in the age of ice. You know, I don't want people to think I'm ice. Do I look like the type of person? Well, I guess because I'm a white red-haired guy, maybe. People, I wear this blue Columbia jacket, which is just for it's lined. It's very warm, and people thought because I wore a blue jacket, I work for the police. I'm like, no, I don't work for the police. I said I fear the police too, you know, and I shouldn't, you know, but I do because I grew up in the war on drugs. See, you know, it's interesting. Bear with me here. You know, ICE is the state imposing policy through the police power of the state, and they're using contractors to do it. They're not using the National Guard nor the actual police officers. They're using these private, or I guess they work for ICE technically, the federal department, but they're using their own vehicles without a state license plates. It's really weird. It's like they're subcontracting it out. And there's Clybourn. So we'll kind of angle up. I'm going to go ahead and, I know there's Halloween decorations here on Dayton Street, and then we'll cut over like Bissell and Fremont, and we'll eventually get to the Barbie Scream House up in Belton, but it's going to be way west, so we're going to diagonal through. We'll probably go up Armitage, we'll cut through Lincoln Park. If you just joined, we're in Chicago, we're going to go over the elevated train tracks. But the war on drugs was another, started by Richard Nixon and continued by Reagan and George Bush the first, and even Bill Clinton. Even Bill Clinton, I said, would have thrown me in jail for a little spliff, just like Ronald Reagan would. There's the brown line. Hey, we got some Halloween decorations here. Just joined, we're in Chicago. We're on Dayton Street. We're just north of North Avenue. And we went through it before, but I don't think it was dark. So we're gonna check out the Halloween decorations here. We did this on Friday. We went over to Wicker Park, which was so nice. If you missed that one, you can check out my reruns there from Friday night, October the 24th. We're October the 27th here. We got 6:42 in the PM. We're gonna head through Lincoln Park the rest of the way here, but we're going to spend some time here looking for Halloween decorations since we're getting so close to Halloween. We got the skeleton, we got the nice tree there. Yeah, we got the tentacles. Look at the tentacles coming out of the plant there. And then we got the ghost and the crazy head there. Look at the blue head there. Oh, look at that. We got crazy tentacles down there. And we got tombstones on either side here. We got skeletons lounging around. So hey, we're right off the bat here. Dayton Street's not disappointing here. We got some nice Halloween decorations here. Happy Halloween week. And on Friday, I didn't have time at work to look it up. I'll look it up tonight. They're going to have the Haunted on Halstead, the Halloween contest. I'm going to look it up right now. I'm going to get my phone out and make sure I'm not misreporting information here. So hold on a second. Bear with me 1 second here. I'm putting the phone in my holder here at the bottom of my gimbal. I MacGyvered a. Oh, here comes the train. The train's going through here. Here, let's. So I can't get my phone to work here. Hold on a second. There, I got it. Okay, good. So here, let me type this in with my thumb here. Let me let my thumbs do the walking here. Let's see. There, Haunted on Halstead. Here we go. Haunted Halstead, Chicago, October 31st, 2025. That's a good sign. So here, Haunted Halstead Parade here. You can check it out. NorthHalstead.com. Haunted Halstead. 28th Annual Haunted Halstead, October the 31st, 2025. Chicago's landmark LGBTQ North Halstead neighborhood. Free to watch parade, ranked one of the top 10 in the U.S. by Four Doors Travel, one of the top 10 Halloween costume parades in the United States. New York's is probably outranks us, but spectacular costume contest with hundreds of entrants. There's a sign up. You can sign up for free. You can sign up right before the contest. We saw the Simpsons signing up last year. $4,000 in cash prizes. And so there's a bunch of bars along North Halstead. So you can get a drink there. It's a fun time. Families are there too. They'll have DJs. And Sidetrack will be open. There'll be all the bars and clubs, And oh, this is awesome. We filmed this before, but I enjoy going up Dayton Street just to see this house every year because they got the Annabelle doll. They did this 3 years in a row, but they keep adding the dolls. Look at all these creepy dolls, and I guess that's. I never watched this movie, but I guess there's a Halloween movie with Annabelle. And one year her head was turning around, and then they got the creepy friends there. There's all Annabelle's friends there hanging out. Look at the creepy dolls. Who's afraid of creepy dolls? And then they got some dolls in the window. Look at these dolls in the window. Oh, they got one hanging there. There's look at the dolls there. And then we got these women right there. And again, it's the housing combined with the Halloween decorations. You got this Italianate residential. And then look down here. We got the Shining Twins in skeleton form. We got the little bear there. It looks like a little Ewok. And they got the fountain here. But even down here, we got some nice Halloween decorations here. Lincoln Park, Chicago, Dayton Street. Thanks for tuning in here. Look over here. Wow. The train, yeah, we got with the sound effects of the train, we got a crescent moon. We got Halloween decorations here, Dayton Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. So thanks for tuning in here. Yeah, happy Halloween there, Pete, Robert. Yeah, Jordan. Yeah, Nita, we're finally seeing Grim Evil. Thanks for sticking on. Thanks for waiting. It was worth it. We're finally seeing some. We saw some really good ones on Friday night. That housing there on Hoyne Street, and people outdid themselves. Hey, here's the skeleton. Let me out. You got the spider. Got the little bat. Yeah, we'll cut over to Fremont Street. And we'll start angling through Lincoln Park here. Hey, here's the skeleton. It's got the eyes blinking. Yeah, Sandra. Kira. Yeah, well done. People have fun with it, and I want to show off their good work. Look, it's a Cubs fan. It's a skeleton Cubs fan. Yeah, the Cubs couldn't make it, but neither could Milwaukee there. We'll see what the Dodgers do tonight there. Are they playing tonight? Let's see when this when's the next World Series game? Is that tonight or tomorrow? I think got Monday Night Football. Would they put the World Series against Monday Night Football? Hold on a second here. World Series. So when's the next game here? Game 3 today, 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. Blue Jays are in LA. So in 10 minutes, the game 3 of the World Series starts there. The Blue Jays are traveling back to Dodgers, or yeah, I got to cross the street here. We'll cross here. We're at Willow and Dayton here, Lincoln Park, Chicago. Yeah, if you wonder how much the real estate costs here, you can go to Zillow and you can type in 60614, or near here, near that zip code is Lincoln Park, Chicago, and it's most of the housing is well over $1 million. Even just like, for example, we saw probably one of the smallest square footage single family residential homes under 1,000 square feet. That one that survived the Great Chicago Fire, the relief houses, the relief shanty. Even though it was a little bigger than a tiny house, like 1,000 square feet, it was $875,000. It's because the land underneath it is probably worth $500,000. And same with all this, you know, if the building itself is not worth over $1 million. And why would a car do that? Why would a car go through a residential neighborhood making a bunch of noise like that? You know, and they do it sometimes at like 4 a.m. You know, it's just people, motorcycles do it. They just like making noise. I was walking to work one morning and somebody did an M80 out the window. It scared me half to death. And we heard it on the live there. You could feel the compression in your chest, you know. And they just thought it was funny to make some noise. So, hey, welcome to the big bad city. Here, Fremont Street here. Yeah, there's some great Halloween decorations. We got some Halloween decorations here. We'll stay on this side. So, hey, we got the crazy tentacles. Hey, we got the gourds here. 1800 block of Fremont Street. We're north of Willow, Lincoln Park, Chicago. 1800 block. So, hey, look at the nice purple and orange lights here. Oh, the cute little ghosts. Yeah, we got some ghosts. And look, the rock hands there. Thumbs up. Oh, there you go. There's Stay Puff. How you doing there? Look, they got the little unicorns. You get the little unicorns. They got the dog. Oh, look at this ghoul. Oh, here's the clown. Look, the clown's upside down. He's been cut in half. Grim, you seen this? The clown's cut, sawed in two. And here's Stay Puff. Stay Puff's behind the plant there. So there's from Ghostbusters. There's Stay Puff. How you doing there? Nice inflatable. So, hey, I like these little. Hey, look at the baby. Look at this baby. Got to change that diaper. But here, that's a creepy clown there. Look at that. Hey, here we go. Fremont Street. Yeah, so Dayton Street, Fremont Street, and Bissell usually have a lot of good Halloween decorations. And Lincoln Park, Chicago. We also, Crilly Court was nice. We'll see if the Barbie Scream House is on here. Hey, since these people got their lights on, I think people are starting to turn their lights on this week. They're leaving them on all week. Yeah, the upside down clown. You see that? It was cut in half. We got sawed in half. Here's some skeletons. Hey, they're having a fight. Look, oh, they're holding hands, reaching out, touching you, touching me. Yeah. Oh, here we go. What's this thing? There's something on the roof. I think this thing moves. Yeah, I remember this thing. So let's see if we can get it to move here. See, we got some witches and ghouls there. Yeah, there it is. Look at this. Look at this creepy crawly thing. This is like from Dr. Seuss there. Look at it. Look, it moves around. It's on the roof. We saw this last year, but look how nice it is. Look how it's kind of realistic how it moves around. That's good. So, hey, look at this. Fremont Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. Yeah, this one might be Dia de los Muertos. Okay, let's check out this one first, and then we'll cross the street here. So, hey, Fremont Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. Yeah, we'll head across there. Hey, here's the skeleton.
I do enjoy the game of hide and seek, but it's been devilishly difficult to find somewhere large enough to hide. Do you mind throwing a blanket over me?
Hey, you want to be a ghost? Hey, look at these cute ghosts. You got some green ghost, purple ghost, ghost with the most. Yeah, this place is really nice. This is Dia de los Muertos. I remember this house, and they really decorated really well last year. I think they were checking it out. So here, we'll check out the ones on the side. They got the googly eyes. We got Fremont Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. We're north of Willow, and we're heading towards Armitage here. Hey, look at that. Got the witches in the window. Got little ghosts and skeletons. And yeah, look at all the skeletons there, the witch. Very nice. Across the way. Yeah, let's check out this Dia de los Muertos. This is beautiful. How you doing? Halloween decorations here. Dia de los Muertos. Yeah, this one's really nice, so we'll spend some time. I like the googly eyes there. But hey, look. Yeah, Ernie, check out Ernesto Chicago Nuggies there. I think he was in Pilsen on Saturday and saw some real Mexican heritage Dia de los Muertos festivities. But this is in Lincoln Park. They do such a great job. See, they got all the offerings, the ofrenda. Am I saying that right? So you have shrines to loved ones that passed away you want to remember, and friends. And here, we'll zoom in here. See, you got the pictures of the candles. I'm sure once we get to November 1st, it's the day after Thanksgiving, they'll light those candles. And there's Grandma and Grandpa there. There's, yeah, they got some, look over there, they got the dog. There they are. There's the senor and senorita there with the ponchos on. Look at the nice hat here. Look at that. Hey, thanks for tuning in here. So Anita, I'll message you. Hopefully taco jalapeno salsa is okay. We need to reach out to her and know that we're thinking of her. I need to reach out to her because I think she's just, hopefully everything's okay, and I want to see if she's doing all right, because I'm kind of absent-minded, but I noticed we haven't seen her in a while there, and I want to know we're thinking of her there. So hey, thanks for tuning in there. And Wes and Subi. Has anybody else heard from Taco Jalapeno Salsa? I'll reach out to her. And I know a lot of you know her. She was part of the whole group here. And so here, let's... Thanks, Anita. Yeah. Is it safe? You tell me. What is safe? What, the suburbs are safe? What? The middle of the country safe? Safe for who? You know, some people that feel safe in the country don't feel safe in the city, and some people that feel safe in the city don't feel safe in the country. That's America. And people know what I'm talking about, Here's, I grew up in the country, so, you know, here's, yeah, we got some spiders here. It's almost like Chicago Bears colors here. Hey, we're seeing some nice Halloween decoration. Lincoln Park and Lakeview are on the north side of Chicago. They're very wealthy, but it doesn't mean they're immune from violence. But yes, they're considered more the safer areas of Chicago. But that doesn't mean you can, any part of the city is the big bag city. No place is immune, and no neighborhood in the city is immune from ice either. There was ice raids in Lakeview and Lincoln Park this week, and people came out and blew the whistles, and tear gas was deployed, and a bunch of mayhem. Here's look at that, the cat, the pumpkin here. We got look at the dog. The dog's gnawing on the sledgehammer there. Here, we'll angle over towards Bissell. We'll just keep zigging and zagging as we check out Halloween decorations here. There you go. There you go, Joy. There you go. See, you got to trust. You got to have faith and just trust that something's watching over all of us and keeping us. You know, why does God let bad things happen to good people? That's the eternal question. And but there's the CTA train line. See how this is narrow? There used to be commercial shops because I think there was a station over there at one time. Here, look at these beautiful Halloween decorations. See how they took the storefront, they converted it to housing. And look at that turret there. Look at that. Here's Wisconsin and Fremont Street. Tom O'Rourke and Peggy Barber Way. There's the brown line, purple line, red line there. Look, they got some. Wow, look at this block. Both sides of the street. We got beautiful Halloween decorations. Fremont Street and Wisconsin. Hey, the Cheshire Cat there. Hey, it's moving. We got a snake. Hey, look how the shadow hits there. Hey, we got a minion. We got a mummy minion. Look at the cute little mummy minion. I like the minions there. I wonder if it talks. That'd be nice. The one-eyed minion. Here's yeah, we got some ghosts. Yeah, launching tear gas by people walking their dogs. I know it was pretty. I felt so bad for that woman that got pushed down. I mean, you know, no offense, you know, the guy has a gun. He's got a big vest. He feels threatened by a woman just standing next to his door there. She had to push her down. You know, we don't know the whole context. Maybe she was harassing him. Maybe he felt threatened. You know, so the big bad ice guy felt threatened by the unarmed woman. Yeah, you know, I mean, you know, I just we'll get off of this. We're having a good time checking out Halloween decorations. We're not going to let this cramp our style. I'm not going to let the current situation invade every single moment of my waking life. We're going to enjoy ourselves while we still can here. Here's yeah, look at this. Look at this. Look at the skeletons. Look at that, the netting. Look at that ghoul there. So hey, Fremont Street is where it's at. I like so far, Fremont Street has the critical mass, like literally like every other house, both sides of the street is decorated. Look at this. I missed this one. I got to backtrack. So there's traffic. It's a one-way street. This is Fremont Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. Look, they got the projection. We'll hit that house there. We missed this. There's so many decorations that I can't even cover it all. Here, look at this ghost. So hey, we're in the 1900 block, the 1900 block of Fremont, and look at that. Across the street, everywhere you look, they got a nice projection. Look at that projection. Look at that projection on the wall there. Come on. Streamlabs is just hard to zoom. There, look at that. I complained to YouTube. I'm like, fix your live streaming app. I'm like, you know, there would be more live streamers on YouTube. The resolution on their app just doesn't compete with TikTok, and that's why we got to use Prism and Streamlabs. Look at this skeleton. Look at his teeth. Look at his chompers here. Hey, the nice projection here. Hey, there's the skeleton. It's got the eyes. Look, the eyes are hearts. Look, it loves you. Oh, this skeleton loves you. It's got hearts. Look at that up there. Wow, we got some spiders. Nice skulls there. The dog's barking at me, so we'll move on. Oh, look at this. We got a big skeleton. We got the bats. Look at all the bats. They did nice with the color scheme there. There, we got some skeletons. Hey, we got a Mickey Mouse. We got a Mickey Mouse ghost there on a pumpkin. Look at that. Boo. That's a big skeleton, yeah. Hey, Fremont Street is where it's at. If you want to see some Halloween decorations, I bet you Friday night, this street will be popping with trick-or-treaters. Just one house after another. Look, they got there's the bride and groom there. Rest in peace there. Yeah, there's the nuptial couple. Look at them. Wow, see, they got their graves ready. See, till death do us part. There you go. They don't even have to wait. And they don't have to wait till their lives to be over. Oh, here we go. Here's the big skeleton. Yeah, it's got the big arm. How you doing there, skeleton? You having a good time? Hey, here's the jack-o'-lantern snowman. Hey, look at the stained glass windows. Yeah, look at that amazing double door. We got the skull and the pumpkins. Nice projection here, 1933. Hands off Chicago. Yeah, Fremont Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. Look at the eyes. They got the eyes moving there. Yeah, big skeleton. Big head. Big head. Here. See, I got to keep crossing the street over and over again. This is the Fremont Street, Lincoln Park. This is it. Yeah, Drummond Avenue. That rings a bell. You stomped a chump there. You got a map there. You can figure. Hey, look at the candles there. Hey, we got the candles floating here. We got. Oh, look at this skeleton. Wow, we got the horns there. Look at this one. It's a dog man. Is that a dog man? Look at that. It's a dog man skeleton. And there's a real skeleton with the dog. Hey, we got some ghouls up there. A lot of skulls on the fence here. Yeah, Fremont Street. Here it is. Hey, there's a ghost. Hey, the spider. At least the wind died down. Remember how windy it was this morning? Everybody's like, I can't hear you, can't hear you. Like, you're getting a true windy, shitty experience here. Yeah, we'll stay safe. We're in Lincoln Park. I know. That's why I film other people's decorations. That's what I say. It's free to walk down the street. I don't have to take this down. They have to change it to Christmas. There, look at what's this. That's a freaky skull. What is that? Has it got a hairdo? What is that? Or is that a skull with a hairdo? It's got a skull with a comb over. I like it. So hey, Fremont Street did not disappoint. We'll head up towards Armitage. I think we're almost to Armitage Street. So we'll cut down Armitage. We'll go by the Old Town School of Folk Music. Look at this modern house here. Hey, there's something over there. So we'll cross one more time. One last time we'll cross to catch this. Is this Jack? Jack the Pumpkin King. Here he is. Yeah, there's Jack from yeah. So thanks for helping me out. Somebody told me the dog from the dog's name is Zero. So the dog from The Nightmare Before Christmas, the dog's name is Zero. Look at the little Dracula's riding it. There's Jack the Pumpkin King. Wow, look at all these skeletons climbing up there. They did a good job. They got Zero. They got Jack from The Nightmare Before Christmas. And what's that little thing riding it? I like it. There. He's singing the song. Yeah. But it's really low. It's okay. They turned it way down so it doesn't bother everybody. But hey, here's the crazy worm from Beetlejuice. Yeah, there's Jack, the Pumpkin King there. He's singing a song. And there's Zero, the cute dog, his dog. So, hey, good job here. So hey, I got to keep going. We'll never get where we're going. So let's go up to Armitage. We'll make a left, and we'll cut up some of those streets west of Sheffield. That's the old Sheffield neighborhood that Chuck de Los Santos talks about in his book, Once Upon a Time in the Neighborhood. Check out Chuck de Los Santos' book about the Sheffield neighborhood. We're going to walk right through there. He talks about what it was like growing up in this area in the 80s. 1980s, when he was young. When I was young, we all were young. Lush. I did not grow up in Chicago. I grew up in the country. So when Chuck was running for his life there with the block gangs there back in the 80s, I grew up in the country. So I think we drove through Chicago, but we didn't stop. I was like a baby. We went to Wisconsin Dells. We went through Chicago to go to Wisconsin Dells, but we didn't stop in Chicago. That's how the 80s were. Because I grew up in Indiana. So hey, here's Armitage, and there's the Old Town School of Folk Music. There's the Old Town. Let's go over there. I should have stayed on that side of the street. It's pretty quiet. It's pretty quiet tonight. It's a Monday night. But they got, you go to the Old Town School of Folk Music. They'll sign you up for music classes. They'll get you with the band there. See, look, they do folk music, guitar, mandolin. This is a guitar class. So here's a guitar class. He's teaching people how to play guitar classes. Sign up today. There it is. Old Town School of Folk Music. This is the one in Lincoln Park. There's one in Lincoln Square. How you doing? And the building's beautiful. It's the Aldine building. There it is. It's got that cupola. The original one was on North Avenue, but it burnt down. And then they moved it up here, and then they expanded it up. There's a larger, with like a little concert hall up in Lincoln Square. But here, this is Armitage. It's a nice little commercial strip here. There's not much going on because it's Monday. Hey, jealous? I lived in Chicago 26 years. I moved here in 1999, so I've lived here over half my life. Thanks for asking here. Yeah, so I get that question a lot. I'm not a native Chicagoan, nor do I claim to be. I think people erroneously think I have a Chicago accent. I don't have a true Chicago accent. True linguists have studied my voice, and they sensed a little Cincinnati, Kentucky twang to it because I grew up near Cincinnati, closer to the southern part of Indiana than the northern part. And but I lived in Chicago half my life. Something must have worn off. I say French room and these, that, and those, and try to be like Mike Ditka. Just, you know, not try to be like him, but just to ham it up with the voice here. I'm just a character voice actor. I'll be like a cartoon character like Robin Williams, and he was better than I was. Here's yeah, we're underneath this is the Armitage stop on the brown and purple lines. The red line doesn't stop here because it goes express. And see, they got this nice mural here. All the cupolas here and the ghost signs of Armitage Street. It's an historic district here. You see why it has all these interesting cupolas and towers and turrets. And historically, this was a German-American neighborhood. I don't know if that had anything to do with the architecture. I think it was just the time of the city. The time this area was developed was the 1890s, when they spent a lot of money on housing. And the craftsmen, there was a lot of workers building everything at once here, so they built amazingly interesting storefronts at this time next to the commercial stop. And it's a classic area of north side of Chicago. Armitage here at Sheffield. Sheffield goes up to Wrigley Field. There's that car. That's the car that's making all the noise. It's just driving around. I've seen that car 4 times, and it just drives around and makes a bunch of noise, and I don't understand why it's just driving around. There, we're crossing it. There's the police, Chicago police there. This is the Armitage stop here. The brown and purple lines here. Sheffield. There, we got the light. Hey, the Armitage Ale House. So, looks like something's going on down there. I see 2 police officers, and they're circling around. So maybe they're looking for that car making all the noise. I bet you that's what's going on. Here's Side Cafe, Armitage Ale House. Hey, the Armitage Ale House. Look at this. You can sit out here. It's still a beautiful night. They got the heat lamps. So hey, the Armitage Ale House. Hey, you can sit. No one wants to sit on this side. They're all on the other side there. Get your English breakfast here. Steaks, pot pies, spice lamb. Yeah. What is this called? Armitage Ale House. Come to the Armitage Ale House here. Sheffield and Armitage. Yeah. So as we walk this way, I'm going to keep crossing these streets until I see one that has Halloween decorations to the north. And then we'll continue our search for Halloween decorations here. Thanks for tuning in. It's Lincoln Park. We got 7:12 in the PM. The World Series game has just started. I'm doing this Monday because I'm going to get tired as we head. I'm going to get more tired and grumpy as we head through the week. And I want to knock it off now so then I can take the easy walks through the Gold Coast and Lincoln Park, or the Old Town Triangle later this week. Moon Rabbit. Come in for your fall immunity boost. There you go. Yeah, I know, Dave. I hear you, Dave. I know everybody plays into these stereotypes. We get it all the time. You know, I know people want me to, you know, I think half of it is just genuinely people that are fellow Chicago friends and neighbors that live on the south and west side that would wish I would cover more areas that they are familiar with and live, and that's part of Chicago too. I don't mean to overemphasize the north side. I live on the north side. That's my That's my problem, is that I'm always walking from downtown to where I live. And so, you know, that's why it's laughable. You know, for years I've been getting these same comments, you know, and people have, most Chicagoans just roll their eyes, and we hear it too all the time. Check out that video I posted of those 2 British tourists. They said people told them not to come to Chicago. The crime was bad. They wouldn't like it. They said they came anyway. They said they had a great time. They loved the architecture. They felt safe. And they come back again. And it just shows you, you know. And it was probably Americans bashing the city. And it hurts America. I know this place is not for everybody. I don't expect anybody to travel here, spend money here. You know, stay away. If you don't like Chicago, just watch my live streams, you know. And even if you don't even have to do that, you know, I understand. The big cities are not for everybody, especially this city. And everything's politicized, and that was a hard time. It's always been hard to live in a city. We go through periods when it's harder, like during the 2020 or now, or in the 70s. And the 68 was a bad year for Chicago. But it was a bad year for America. And there. So here, let's check out some Halloween decorations here. I probably should have went another street, but I'm already far enough down this street that we'll continue on here. So here, what street are we on here? Let me make sure I know where we're at here. So hey, we'll keep up to date with the score here of the World Series game. I think it just started. Here, I'm checking out the maps here. Kenmore, we're on Kenmore. So Kenmore Seminary and Clifton. Kenmore Seminary and Clifton. We're over in that area, the former Sheffield area of Lincoln Park here, near here. Hey, how you doing, skeleton? Hey, you're upside down there. Yeah, doing a headstand. So I don't see many Halloween decorations in this street, so we'll go one street over. I want to make sure I don't get over this area too much because it's not on my way home from work, even though it's in Lincoln Park. And so I want to cover this area, and I don't want to miss if there's any Halloween decorations on the next street over here. Yeah, they got some webs. They got some spider webs. Beautiful housing though. Look at the hedge here. Yeah, Seminary and then Clifton. And we can even cross over. Yeah, well, we're almost to... Maybe I'll go down Dickens. Maybe I'll go down Dickens until we get to... Then we'll go over to Wayne. See, Wayne's where we're going. There's usually some good Halloween decorations over there. Yeah, Sally. Yeah, it's expensive. Windy City Rehab, yeah, that's it. HGTV, that's, yeah. I know people. A guy on my softball team, him and his wife, their condo was on that, and he was on my softball team. They were on HGTV, probably that exact same show. That's great. Yeah, I worked with them. That's great. So, here we're back to Armitage. I was on autopilot there. I wasn't really going to go up that street. Yeah, there's some Halloween decorations there on Armitage. We'll go over to Seminary here. Seminary sounds like it should have some good Halloween, like Institute Place, the sanatorium. There's the moon. Hey, look at that orange light, orange and purple light up there. So the 1000 block, it's called the Kensington. This is Armitage. It's pretty quiet tonight, Monday night. Who's playing the Monday night game? I don't even know who's playing football tonight. And then there's the World Series game as well. So you're free to check out my reruns on TikTok of O Block, which is Parkway Garden, 63rd, and Martin Luther King. You see how bored I am talking about it. We get asked that question every day. We got many reruns of the King Von mural. We could talk about Odie Perry to ad nauseum. That happened 15 years ago. Why are you still talking about it? I guess you're part of the drill hip-hop community, which is great. I know O Block's no longer the most dangerous area of Chicago. It was at that time because of the gangster disciples versus the black gangster disciples, or some other it was disputed territory. That's how Odie Perry got wrapped up with it. King Von died in a completely different situation later, and Chief Keef came from that area. Do you want me to go by the Marshall Field Garden Apartments? We go by that often. That's where Polo G came out of. No one asked me to go by where Polo G grew up, but I guess he's 15 years old too now. We saw Chance the Rapper, which is not the drill hop community. He's his own thing. We saw Chance the Rapper at the Bud Billiken. You can check out my Bud Billiken parade rerun, see the South Shore Drill Team. If you like drill hip hop, you must like the South Shore Drill Rifle Corps team there. They march in a lot of the parades. We saw them even in the Halloween parade downtown there. This Gemini and Ernesto Chicago Nuggies got some good footage of them. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Chicago. How you doing here? This is Seminary Street. Yeah, I think Fremont, Dayton, and Bissell are probably the best besides those in the Gold Coast that we see in this area. This is a pretty nice one here. They got some shocks of corn. This is on Seminary here. We're still in Lincoln Park here. Hey, look at that, and a nice pumpkin there. An architectural tour, yeah. Yeah, thanks, Christy. No, Christy, I get asked that question every single day, and if I don't answer it, people think I don't have Chicago credibility because it's huge in certain communities, and that's why I want to let them at least know I know what, let them know what I talk about. So I have to do the whole spiel. So when I do the whole spiel, people like you and everybody else gets angry that I'm talking about it. So it shames the person that brings it up, and we'll see if they do it again. Not that I want to shame the people that bring it up. It's just we're over this. It happened 15 years ago. Here's the...
They say this cemetery is haunted. Most of the time, those buried here stay there. But every once in a while, one pops up and grabs you. So be careful where you dig now. If you're not, they're liable to snatch your ankle and pull you right in with them.
Yeah, they don't say K-Town. I know. You should go to K-Town, which are the streets that begin with K on the west side. You're right. And that shows you, it just, people know certain things and they think they know things and they want to act like they know things. And yeah, thank you for asking about K-Town. I've been asked to go to K-Town, which is on the far west side there. The streets begin with K. And that's Garfield, West Garfield Park. And you can go even towards Austin and the whole west side of Chicago there, north and south of there as well. Here's the, a bulldog lives here. Yeah, they got the ghost here. They got the Chucky. We saw the Bride of Chucky. The Bride of Chucky. I have to remember where the Bride of Chucky is. Where did we see the Bride of Chucky? That was a nice Halloween display. We might see that tonight. I think that's on Webster. Let's see if we can find the Bride of Chucky tonight. I looked up her name, and I keep forgetting her. She has a name. It was like some spin-off movie that came out in 1990. Look at hey, he's got a chain. He's got chains around his knees there. What is this guy? He's like a baseball player. So here's a ghost hedge here. So here's some spider webs here. Yeah, Jessica, how you doing there? Oh, yeah, yeah, you're right, Wes. Yeah, Wes. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Christy. No, I know you were admonishing the people that kept asking about it because people are new to my channel. We're going to get a whole new. We're getting a whole new audience of people that didn't even know I existed on YouTube because I was on TikTok before this, and so people are going to ask that question. Because, like, what do I say? Traveling for work on vacation. A lot of times I take off the weekends, but summertime we do a lot of live stream on the weekends because there's always so much going on every weekend, events and cultural things. But hopefully I'm getting a break now once we get beyond Halloween. But yeah, you don't realize until you stream as much as I do in a certain area that has a stereotype like Chicago. People have images about Chicago whether they've been here or not, and you get asked about O-Block, you get asked about how expensive everything is. The only consistent positive things people say about Chicago, besides they didn't know the architecture was so beautiful in the areas I stream, is the streets are clean. people often say, wow, the streets are clean. I'm like, well, what did you expect? You know, and I expect, like, New York Street, like, not a, you know, I understand that. But yeah, we have generally cleaner, usually less people on the street. People are like, where's everybody at? It's always like this. I've lived here for 26 years. This area's never been crowded with people. It's just a few people here and there. And here's some Halloween decorations here. Yeah, let's head up to Webster here. It's beautiful housing here, Lincoln Park. You know, I live in a 1-bedroom apartment near the lake, and you know, I don't have a car. That's how I can afford it. It's expensive. Rent prices are expensive. Housing is even more expensive. Taxes are expensive. And people are like, yeah, you horrible rich people live on the north side. I'm like, if they were really rich, they would live in the North Shore suburbs or Barrington and avoid paying high city taxes, you know. And there's people that are billionaires like Penny Pritzker that pay high city taxes even though they're billionaires because they're heirs of the Hilton fortune and they're willing to live in the city and pay high taxes. And not everybody's willing to do that, you know. Here's we get no credit. We're horrible, evil people here on the north side. Here's look at that. Look at the skeleton. Look at the bats. And I know it's mostly because people rightly resent gentrification, and this area's already been gentrified. Here's welcome home, Georgie. Oh, Georgie. Yeah, Georgie Porgy. This is, are we still on Seminary? Yeah, we're still on Seminary here. Lincoln Park, Chicago. We're almost up to Webster. And trust me, if the Barbie Scream House is as good as it was the last 2 years, it'll be worth it me walking all this way when the World Series is starting just to film Halloween decorations. When I could easily be doing other things. I appreciate everybody for tuning in here. You could be doing other things too, so thanks for sticking on here. It'll be worth it. Here's hey, here's the Grim Evil. Here's the Grim Reaper here. It's got the flash warning here. Here's Seminary just south of Webster here. We got the big Grim Reaper there. There's the Halloween lights. Got a fountain over there. Small hall. Oh, I almost stepped in a hole there. I did step in a hole. Yeah, Jessica, Dave Nasty. Come back to the city. Walk around O Block in Chinatown. No problems. Great food. That's great. Yeah, see, there you go. Emily, thanks for the good testimonial. Yeah, we went down to Chinatown. We went down there for the Moon Festival. They had a K-pop festival. It was a good time. And they light it up underneath the Wentworth Gate. That's good. Yeah, check out the south side there. Here's Webster and Clifton. That's a good testimonial there. Hey, look at this van. This is a nice van. Prime, it's Amazon. So this is Webster at Sheffield. No, this is not Sheffield. This is Racine. Is this Racine? We're past Sheffield. Yeah. So here's a nice little commercial strip. Hey, there's the good games here. Yeah, they got, if you like if they got fun board games, puzzles, trading cards, miniatures, role playing. Good games here. Yeah, look at this place here. Very nice. There it is. He made sure he closed the door because he didn't want me, he thought I was ice or something. He thought I was casing the joint there. I was going to go in and show the place, and he slammed the door there, so we'll move on. I think he didn't want me to stream him, which I understand. And he was in a private business there. So here we'll head home of the cheese crisp here, old Pueblo here. I think that's what they call it. So here we're on Racine and Webster, Lincoln Park, Chicago. We're at the Western Inn. We're heading towards Clybourn. So here, look at this nice mural here. We got the love. There's the love mural here. Oops, sorry. Everywhere I go, I think they probably didn't like me either because they started to go and then I started to cross the street right when they started to go. Don't you hate that when your car and the pedestrian starts to go? Here's the old Pueblo. Here's the love mural here. bunch of hippies live around here. Yeah, you get the head, not ice. That'll be, I wear camouflage everywhere I go. Christie's International Real Estate. So here you can check out the real estate part. Emily Sachs Wong, yeah. But here, this is Webster Street. So trust me, as long as they got them turned on, there's some amazing Halloween decorations once we get to Wayne Street. And look, hands off Chicago. Hands off Chicago. Look at that. There's the Center Street Kitchen. Hey, there's, oh, look at the little rubber ducks there. They got the unicorns, a nice bird bath. Yeah, very nice. This is Magnolia and Webster. Hey, looks like there's some Halloween decorations that way. There's something there. So, where are we at? Let's see where we're at here. Yeah, so there's some there. Let's go around the block here. Let's see where we're at here. I'm trying to... Where are we at here? Yeah, let's go around the block here. Let's check out the Halloween decorations here. So, where are we at? We're at Webster and Magnolia. Webster and Magnolia, Lincoln Park, Chicago. And it looks like there's some Halloween decorations down this way. And we'll go around the block since we came over here. Because I probably won't come this way again unless, God forbid, the Barbie Scream House is not on. Here, Fright Lotus. Fright Lotus. Look at this. Nothing comes from nothing. Look at these nice, they did a good job setting this up here. They are trying to kill me. Very glam. Look at that. What's this one say? I would rather be dead than live an uncomfortable life. There you go. See? It's all relative. Yeah, that's very nice. Hey, good job. So hey, here we go. So this is Magnolia. Look at those flowers. Look at this beautiful housing here. Look at the nice Halloween decorations. Magnolia Street here, Lincoln Park, Chicago. Look at the spiders. How you doing? I'll film over here. Look at the nice Halloween decorations there. I'm filming across the street. I purposely saw her coming and decided to film something else. So I'll go back to film what I'm filming here. That's good. So here, let's see here. We're in a public street here. So here, trick or treat. There it is. Look at that. And hey, there we go. There's the nice skeletons here. And you probably heard my voice and decided to get out of here. She said, there's the guy that always films Halloween decorations. Here, stay out of the haunted house here. Very nice. So there it is. Hey, look at they got the nice hockey fan there in the trees there. We got the nice ghost. Here's the fun house. Let go of my show. There we go. Look at that. There's the spiders. Look at the witches here. Very nice Halloween decoration. Oh, she's checking out the same thing. It's nice Halloween decorations here. Look at they got something in the cages there. Oh, this is great here. Look at the three witches. They got the googly eyes. Let me lower my voice so I'm not so annoying here. Oh, I like these witches. I like their eyes. It's like that movie Eraserhead. It's like the rabbit with the eyes there. It's just freaky. Look at that. Grim Evil, you know what I'm talking about. You know Eraserhead. That's David Lynch. What's his name? The guy that did Twin Peaks. Yeah, I have to, well, remind people when I'm on, you know, sometimes I have to reassure people that I'm live streaming, and I have to understand if they're, you know, uncomfortable by me filming in their presence, and people will let me know if they are. I'm usually pretty sensitive to it because I don't like to be filmed. You know, every once in a while I have to show my face, but yeah, it's the nature of live streaming, especially this age with ice, and no one trusts anybody with the camera because you don't know how the footage is going to be used, you know. And look at this. This is great. So here we got, look, there's the aliens. We got alien skeletons. Here we are on Magnolia Street. Look, so it's a crash. The spaceship has crashed, and it's leaking fuel there, and the aliens have died. And there's the biohazard. This alien's puking because it got sick from radiation from entering the atmosphere there. Look at that. It's got the green liquid there. It's in continuous state of vomiting there. And look at the this is pretty good here. I like this. They got the there's the alien. There's the alien coming out. It's got the Captain and Tennille hat. It's listening to yacht rock. There's the alien coming out of the spaceship here on Magnolia Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. Nice Halloween. Yeah, isn't this nice? Yeah, all you gotta do is subscribe, turn on notifications. Thanks for helping out there. That's how you get notified. I try as much as possible when I'm working Monday through Friday in the office to keep a morning, noon, and night live streaming schedule during weekdays, where we stream in the morning going to work from 6:30 to 8, and we stream from noon to 1 at lunchtime on my lunch break, and then we stream after 5 o'clock. I didn't start till 5:20 tonight. And on TikTok, like, if I didn't start streaming at 5 o'clock, at 5:15 I get about 5 messages. Are you streaming tonight? Are you streaming tonight? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to stream tonight. I'm talking, getting out of work, you know. I got to shut down my machine. And I know it's a good problem to have because people are looking for my stream. And I was like, I'm coming. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for not forgetting about me. Here's the, hey, here's the nice skeletons here. Magnolia. Magnolia. Hey, here's the dog. Yeah, look at all the bones. Look at the bones. Look at the bones. A UFO sea terminal, early 2000. Yeah, I heard something about that. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about, Dave Nasty. Yeah, it was freaky. Like the people talked about it, like the clouds parted. They thought it was like an atmospheric thing, but it was so perfect the way the cloud like made like a circle. But here, Magnolia Street, at least between Dickens and Webster, is pretty nice. We'll walk 1 block over, and then we're almost to the Barbie Scream house, trust me. Hey, look at that. There's the Peace Samurai. Look, he's got the piece. There's the skeleton. Hey, they got some stuff here. Yeah, here we go. You got the silver skeleton. So this is Dickens Street. We're past Magnolia. We're going over towards, this is not Wayne. This is one street by Wayne. A lot was done to cover that up, I'm sure, yeah, because too many people saw it. You know, it happened at a major airport. I mean, you know, come on. Like the aliens came to they wanted to land at O'Hare, but there was no terminal gate, so they went back into space. They're like, what is this airport here? They came to Chicago. They were illegal aliens. Oh, that's not funny at all. Especially in this day and age. Here's Lakewood and Dickens. See, that's Clybourn. Clybourn runs at an angle. We'll head up here. I see a few Halloween decorations here. Hey, they're walking the dog here. One of these streets has the railroad tracks. I think it's one over here where the railroad tracks. Jennifer You Should Eat talks about how the railroad tracks used to come. There was a sighting went all the way up to Wrigley Field, and it goes through these streets. Here's the skeleton. Hey, look at that. Yeah, this is nice decorations here. There's the red eyes. Got the bat. Hey, they got the spiders over there. Yeah, Lakewood Street. See how this stuff's newer because they got garages. See, they got, you can just back right in there. There's nice housing here. And the house we're going to go to, I think it used to be a church, and now it's just a single-family residential building. But it's on the corner, and usually he opens up that corner side lot and just decorates it. For 2 years ago, it was the Barbie Scream House because that Barbie movie came out. Last year, it was a variation of it, but it was even creepier. It was like, I felt like I was going to get banned filming it. You know, it was like, it was good in a good way. I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was very creative, and I mean, it was creepy good. I mean, it was deeply disturbing in a good way. So let's see what they do this year. We actually ran into the guy. Remember, Jeremy saw us, and he was on his e-bike, and he had that new GoPro or that Insta360, and he was showing me his new camera or his new filming device there, which is great. Check out Jeremy. Starts with an H there, and he got up to his place there on the Chicago Air and Water Show, which I appreciate that. He's a pilot. He knew all the planes, what they were doing, the maneuvers. But here we're back to Webster. We're a block away, so trust me, as long as they got the lights turned on, hopefully we can give you a tour, and then we'll cut it out here. How's my battery doing? 31%, so we're gonna make it. So here's a little skeleton. Looks like there's a nice lighting display here on the corner. I vaguely remember this from years past. The ghost of Halloween's past. See, they got the garage. Here it is. Yeah, they got a nice little arch here with the skeleton head. Oh, the skeleton lost its head. Look, the Grim Reaper there, the Sith, the Sai, cut off the head there. Look, there's a nice school over here. So hey, we're 1 block away. We'll check out Wayne and Webster here, and we'll head through here. Nah, don't believe everything you hear. What are we talking about here? So the Great Chicago Fire happened in 1871. Is there another fire? There was a fire at the Union Stockyard several times. There's some firefighters that died. We filmed that. But the Chicago Fire soccer team lost to the Philadelphia Union last night. They get to play another game, stay alive, but they're down to the wire here. And if you just joined here, we're in the western end of Lincoln Park. We're almost to where Pequod's Pizza is, where it's Webster and Clybourn. But this street here is called Wayne. And I see some lights flickering, so I'm very hopeful that the reason I walked all the way over here, look, it's 7:41. I've been walking for a long time. I usually don't walk this long because this is way on the opposite side of Lincoln Park from where I live, but the lights are on, and as long as the door's open, we're going to try to check out this. And I think the doors are closed, so it might not be open. No, the door's open, so hey, good. So good, my heart skipped a beat here. So hey, welcome to Chicago. Welcome to one of my favorite Halloween decoration areas in the city, Webster and Wayne. We'll go across the street here. How you doing there? I want to check this is good Halloween decorations?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to check it out every year. Every year.
They do this, yeah.
It always freaks me out.
This way.
Go this way. Thank you so much. This is awesome. So here, let's do Forever and Always. Taylor and Trey. Oh, this is about the wedding. Yeah, this is awesome. Thank you. I'm Brian Really Chicago, so I want to film this.
Oh.
Thank you. That's good. I'm on YouTube right here. So
okay. Go ahead.
You want to give a shout out or anything, or you just want to? Okay, good. Okay. So I'm gonna go through here. So hey, so here, yeah, Travis and Taylor. The Halloween here. So let's go through here. Oh, this is awesome. Look, there they are. Look, there's the nuptial couple. Look at all that. Is so freaky. That's why I said this is so freaky good. Isn't this awesome? They always do such a great job.
They do. I love
Look at this stuff.
Yeah.
I see new stuff.
I saw my son through here first because I don't like stuff like this.
It's creepy. I mean, in a good way. But look at these. They got the dolls.
Yep.
There they are. And this whole thing with the strobe light. Mm-hmm. I got to meet the guy. Last year I got to meet him, and he sets all. I can't believe he has all this stuff in his basement. You know, look at this. Yeah. He got the bears. They're on the table there. Look at look at that. They got
eyeballs.
Look at that heart.
Yeah, he spent money.
Fingers. Look at this. And this used to be a church. Do you know that? Oh yeah. Now it's a house. Yeah. Oh wow. Look at this. Yes. Here it is. Here's the wedding. Yeah. Oh, Taylor Swift and Travis, look at him. Or I can't. There she is. Oh, look, she stabbed through the heart, or through the stomach.
The best man.
Look at that, the best man. Here's the table. Here's the wedding cake. Look,
Wedding party.
look at that, got the heads off there. They got the black candles.
Very detailed.
Flash-o-matic. Yeah, look at this. Look, they got the two-headed baby.
Yeah.
Look at that. That is freaky.
Did you get the audience?
Oh, they always have somebody in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Look at that. They got the wheelchair with the dress. They're in the chair. What is this? It's like a demon. Demon in a dress. Looks like they're all passed out here.
Yep.
There it is. Travis. Oh, see, they always got these dolls. They got the Barbie dolls. Look, it's like a seance. They're all worshiping the doll there.
Yeah.
See, can I show this? I don't even know if I can show this. Look at the electric. There's the Chiefs. Yeah, the Chiefs. Look at that. This is great. Thanks for checking it out with me. This is awesome. I get excited by little things like this.
I love stuff like this.
And look at that. They got the balcony. I think this was like a seminary and a church, but now it's a house. And they got a big tower. And they do such a great job.
Yeah.
You know. But hey, have a good night. Thanks for saying hello.
So don't
That's.
forget, look.
I'm gonna check. I'm gonna do this twice because I see something new every time.
Who is these people? Harry Styles.
Yeah, I think they're in that band.
Calvin Harris.
It's one of those boy bands, you know, like One Direction or something. I don't know the bands, you know, but that's great. Yeah, Joe Jonas, the Jonas Brothers, Harry Styles. Yeah, he's like that British guy. Yeah. Well, hey, happy Halloween. This is great. Yeah, thank you. That is great. Have a good night. That is something. There's stuff over here. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the skeleton. That is creepy. And the leaves are in there. Yeah, they got stuff up there.
Yeah.
They got all this. Okay, I'm going to go through one more time here. Let's just check this out. This is great. So, yeah, let's get it from they got the sign here. Let's check it out. So, here, yeah, forever and always, Taylor and Travis, death did us part this way. And they got the jet fuel. And see, he choreographs the whole thing. And you go through here, and there it is. So it's like these little scenes, these little vignettes. They got the strobe light. They got this guy coming out of the cage. They got the bear, but they got all the dolls and the babies hanging upside down there. And I guess they're making out there. There's the snake. Look, yeah, there's something in the cage there. They always got the mirror. Oh, look in the mirror. So that's why I went through it twice. You got the mirror there, and you can see they got it positioned there. Isn't that nice? There's a gust of air going through here, which adds to the creepiness as well. Shake it off. Shake it off. This is... There he is, the Chiefs fan on the bed there. See, I thought it was Bears, but it's the Chiefs. And look at they got the crazy specimens in there. What's that? The sledgehammer fingers. And then look at this. They got the seance. They got the skeletons there. They always got somebody in the electric chair. There's the Chiefs. But here it is. This is Taylor Swift and Kelsey's wedding here. What's his name? Travis Kelsey. And there's all there. I see this was when it was the Barbie Scream House, the pink Barbie. And they got all the tombs there. But hey, yeah, and thanks to, I'm glad the people came. They walked through there with me. I would have been too scared to make it through the first time. Look at the two-headed baby there. Look at that. Get out. So hey, the Barbie Scream House, they always outdid themselves. They always pick a good theme, you know, either like a movie or Taylor and Travis's wedding. Isn't that nice? Yeah, let's just extend Halloween year round. I agree. So hey, I'm gonna get home so I can catch the end of this World Series game here. So I'm gonna walk straight down Webster. We'll cross the street. We'll just see the Halloween decorations all the way back here, and my battery will eventually wind down. So we'll catch the spider here. You would have Thanksgiving with Taylor. There you go, Phil. Yeah. Partial owners to Six Flags. Yeah, what's he going to do with all that money? He doesn't know what to do with it. Maybe he can help pay for Trump's ballroom there. Here's, look at the spider there. Six Flags. Who can tell me what the Six Flags stand for? You know, the historical Six Flags over Texas. And one of them's very controversial. Here's Zero. Here's the dog Zero. That looks nice there. Look how they got that lit up. That's from the Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, there's Zero. Here's the spiders. Psychedelic spider abdomen. The disco ball there. Spider moves. So we're on Webster. So Webster and Wayne, that where the Taylor and Kelsey wedding Halloween thing, that's on Webster and Wayne. It's the southwest corner of Webster and Wayne. It's just near Clybourn and Webster. It's the western part of Lincoln Park. That's where we're at. This is Webster Street in Lincoln Park, and we're up to Lakewood. And we kept walking over here to get to that house. And I could have went by it Friday night, but I was just so tired that I just went straight home. And the Cortland Avenue Bridge is under construction, so. But here, this is Lakewood and Webster, Lincoln Park, Chicago. We got about 55 degrees maybe. World Series games going. Is there any score in the World Series game so far? Here's, look at this, yeah, Grim Reaper there. Hey, we got the ghouls on the porch there. Webster. Yeah. Yeah, spiders are the size of cats. Yeah, October the 27th. Hey, look at that. Look at the skeletons. Now, let's see, what's the 27th? So, today in Mexican culture, October the 27th is to be the night where the pets, all the pets that passed away, come back to visit. Thanks, Cheeto Kicks. So the pets today, October the 27th. Remind me of that, Cheeto. There's, hey, the skeleton's waving there. It lost its head. Off with its head here. Here's Magnolia and Webster here. See, they're wearing shorts. It's a nice night here. Weather's not bad at all. How you doing? So here we'll head down Webster. Yeah, we went past here. We're retracing our steps here. Look at you go down to the underneath the porch there, or the little entry there. Blue Jays 9. No, 1-0. Okay, there we go. So LA's got 1. Blue Jays got 0. Okay, good. So 1-0, top of the third. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in there. Appreciate. Thanks for helping with the score there. I appreciate it. So, hey, 1-0 there. Top of the third. Okay, good. Yeah, salute to Mexican culture. Yeah, so it's not even more than just Dia de los Muertos, and I know I'm just oversimplifying it too, the gringo that I am, you know, I'm learning too. Ernesto Chicago Nuggies was in Pilsen. He filmed some real cultural visuals, and I don't know if he posted. I got to check out his page there. I got to catch up on my content here. Hey, Old Pueblo Cantina. We're heading down Webster here. Okay, they see a camera and then they wait for me to cross. Usually I'm used to the car, just keep going. E.T. movies in the park. They already had it. So this Friday they had movies in the park. They were showing E.T. That would have been nice if I could have motivated myself to go this way Friday night. We probably would have saw the Barbie Scream House and we would have saw E.T. But yeah. Hey, there's the spider. Where are you at? No, I'm in Toto Boy. I'm in Lincoln Park. This is Webster. We just crossed Racine. And this is, I don't know the name of this park, but it's at Webster and Racine. There's that game shop we went by there. We'll go through here. Hey, there's people enjoying the park there. We've been talking to a lot of people here. Yeah, we watched Coco. That's a good movie there. It's very colorful. There, it's called Trebes Park. T-R-E-B-E-S. It's Clifton and Webster here. Here we go. T-R-E-B-E-S. Trebes. Clifton and Webster here. Lincoln Park, Chicago. There'll be a few more Halloween decorations as we head back towards the lake here. Yeah, okay. 0 to 1 Dodgers. Okay, good. So the Dodgers are winning 1-0. Thanks for the good info there. Appreciate it. Yeah, the World Series is going on. I guess Monday Night Football as well. There, range. You go to the range there. Washington 0-0 second quarter. No score to the second quarter. See, this is why you don't look at the screen at night. I almost tripped and took a nosedive there, but I appreciate Grim Evil. It's not your fault. It's my fault for looking at the screen. I got to be really careful now. I don't want to fall before we do the Halstead costume contest. A lot of jagged sidewalks around here. It always gets you right when you look at the screen. That's when just a little brick or a little something will catch your toe and then you start to fall. There's Seminary. We went. Yeah, Seminary has some really nice Halloween decorations there between Webster and Armitage. Yeah, there's some Halloween decorations down that way. We came up that street. Looks like there's some up that way too. Well, here we'll continue up Webster here. Oh yeah, Melissa, thanks. Yeah, how Melissa's really impacting Jamaica. They're getting a lot of rain. I think it's a Category 5. It suddenly strengthened to a Category 5 overnight. Hurricane Melissa there in the Caribbean, Jamaica, and Cuba is going to be western part of Cuba, or eastern part of Cuba is going to be affected. Thanks for mentioning that. Hey, they're checking out the bones. Yeah, here's some nice. Hey, here's some Halloween decorations here. Yeah. Hey, it's talking to you. How you doing? Yeah. So here, Webster Street, heading east. I can't wait to cut out that footage from the Taylor Swift, Kelso. Kelsey, hair metal. Yeah, I'll be careful. No, yeah, it's fine. I'm getting tired. What it is, Anita, I don't usually walk this long, and you get dehydrated, you get tired. Here's the DePaul University. Yeah, I'm almost home. So I'm just, if I missed your comment here, that's why I miss it here. Here's, yeah, we'll go underneath there's the red line heading across there. This is the mother church for DePaul University. So the original DePaul University started here, and there was like a seminary and stuff. And then there was a seminary, a different church seminary they took over, and they moved north and expanded DePaul University up towards Fullerton, north of here. But we're at Webster, and here it is, St. Vincent de Paul. They got the, how you doing? They got the, there, 1010 West Webster, St. Vincent de Paul here. Very nice facade here. So I think this church was built after the turn of the century, like early 1900s. But those buildings are actually older, I think. And this is the DePaul University towers. You can see them clearly from the elevated train tracks when you go by here. And here we'll go by Jam and Honey. There, we'll get a nice view of here's the train here. So I'll have to go all like Nick Nolte on you here. Here, look at that wind picking up here. Do you like butter sausage? Do you eat jam on your honey? Yeah, kiss it on the lips. We'll do the Nick Nolte crazy guy rant there. Alice in Wonder. This is Webster Street. Hello, Jasmine. Taiwanese bento. You get your bento box. Hello. Who's yelling? They're coming out of the bars here. Here's McGee's. McGee's is closed. McGee's is closed. I can't believe McGee's is closed. How long has this been closed? Is this just tonight? There was the sound of the elevated train above us there, the CTA train. Is McGee's closed just for tonight, or is it closed permanently? It looked like it was closed. There's Kelly's Pub. Here's sushi. This is Rotary Sushi here. Sushi Taku Rotary. Here's the Foxtrot. Here's the Home Slice. The Home Slice is going strong. They're watching Monday night. They got. I don't see the World Series on. All I see is there's the World Series there. Yeah, 0-1 LA. So here, this is Bissell Street. Bissell Street.
Hey, sir.
Hey, how you doing?
Huge fan.
Hey, thanks for saying hello. How you doing? What's the
What about you?
I'm Brian, really Chicago. What's your name?
Sebastian.
Sebastian. What's the score of the game? The 1-0. Dodgers are winning, right? I think it's right here.
I think I have it right here.
Yeah, it's right here.
You can if you want to.
But hey, thanks for saying hello. It's the Home Slice. Yeah, 1-0.
Not too bad.
Is McGee's closed just tonight, or did they close down permanently? McGee's right here.
I think that goes just tonight.
Just tonight, just Monday night.
Yeah.
Okay, good. The Home Slice, what a nice place here. Yeah, you got Monday night. Thanks for saying hello. Appreciate it.
I follow you.
That's good. Thank you, Brian. Road Chicago. I'm on YouTube now. That's good. That's good. Hey, the Home Slice. There you go. So hey, yeah, let's head up this way. Here it is. Happy hour, Monday through Friday. Home Slice. That's good. See, friends and neighbors. Yeah, we know. We've gone in there before. We've talked to people that work there, and we've gone in there many times. Yeah, Bissell and Webster. Very nice. Yeah, I'll get some water. I'm almost home. Don't worry. I'm trying to get home. I'm trying to get home. I should have asked him for some water. He probably would have gave me some. I know. But here's some Halloween decorations here. Hey, look at that. That's nice. Is that Dia de los Muertos? I can't tell. It looks nice though. I like it. Hey, this is on Webster Street. Yeah, there's spider web there. Yeah, we'll head up Fremont, and we'll see if the Skeletones. We'll see if I want to go by the Skeletones because I'm hoping it's lit up. And they got the flapper girl and the prohibition guy sitting at the table there with the bag of money. It's like Bonnie and Clyde there, but I want to check it out. Here's the I got the spider webs there, Webster. So I think we just got to go a block north. If we go one block north, we'll see the Skeletones there. And that's on Belton Street. That's right across from DePaul. So here, let's see if maybe we'll get lucky and see some Halloween decorations here. I think this is Fremont Street. We had good luck on Fremont Street. If you go down Fremont Street that way, really a lot of high density, critical mass of Halloween decorations. Fremont Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. Oh, the Dodgers scored too. That must have just happened. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the update there. Hey, the Commanders. They call me the dance commander. Looking at the party for fun. I forgot how that song goes. Hey, look at the nice housing here on Fremont here. Yeah, Lincoln Park, Chicago. See, it's the housing combined with the Halloween decorations make it so nice here, because the buildings themselves lend themselves. There's a modernist though. They got the ghost and the witch coming out the window here. Yeah, look at that. They got the, yeah, very nice Halloween decorations here on Fremont Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. Oh, look over here. Yeah. See, just nice uplighting here. They got some bats. Yeah, they got some lights over there. This is Fremont Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. We're north of Webster. We're south of Belton. Look at all the bats. They're moving, blowing in the wind. Got the little library. Hey, here's a skeleton. Yeah, across the way. Here's some ghosts. But hey, look at that. We got the eyes. It's got the heart. See, it loves you. It's blowing you kisses there. It's got the hearts in the eyes. There's your skeleton. It sees love. And hey, how you doing there? Yeah, nice porch here. Nice. Hey, there's the skeleton climbing up the tree. But hey, we're almost to the skeletons. We've shown this many times. I got a rerun of it from 2 years ago. They added more to it. They added some more skeletons out listening to the two skeletons playing in the band there. And last year they restored their porch, so they didn't do it last year. The porch was under restoration, but they got it all fixed up. Look at that beautiful stained glass windows here on Fremont Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. So here we're almost by Belton. And I think we're close to the skeletons here. We're almost home, homeward bound. I'm a bad, so I really appreciate it. Yeah, check out the haunted house and here. So this is the nice front porch here. We're on Webster Street. We're over by Dayton. We're near Dayton. We're in between Dayton and Fremont Street on Belton. Here's the skeletons. Look how nice the skeletons look there. See, they got the jazz band there. They're playing the saxophone and the clarinet. The skeletons. This beautiful house here. And look at the sky. And they got ghosts over there. But here's the best here. They got the people here playing cards. But this is Bonnie and Clyde. There's Bonnie and Clyde sitting here. We filmed this before. I already got a rerun of it. Look, she's got the pearls on. She's got the gloves. She's got a nice little feather in her hair. He's got a bag of money there. There's Bonnie and Clyde there. And they're listening to the skeletons. They're listening to the skeletons here play on Belton Street here, Lincoln Park, Chicago. Look at that sky. And these guys are over here. So hey, I'm hanging out with my best friends here. A little party, never killed nobody. Let's cross the street here. I'm about to lose my battery here. Let's see if we can get across here. Yeah, these are the McCormick row houses. So I think this is part of the Paul University. Hey, look, they're climbing across here. There's the skeletons. They're rappelling on the purple line here. There they are. And look at that. Beautiful porches here. Look at the sky with these row houses. Lincoln Park, Chicago, Belton Street. There's the elevated train just went by there. Red line. They got the boneyard. So hey, have a good night, everybody. Thanks. Go. We'll see what happens with the World Series there, and we'll see what happens with the Monday Night Football. We'll cut out that Taylor Swift wedding. And look at this beautiful housing. Thanks, Anita. Thanks, everybody, for being on here. The whole group here. We'll find out what's up with Taco. And hopefully she's fine there. I need to direct message her there. And thanks, everybody. Have a good rest of your Monday night. And we'll see you tomorrow bright and early. Thanks to the whole team here. Let's say goodbye to everybody here. Mike, let's see here. Wes, Tombot. Hey, Tombot, thanks for gifting all those subscriptions to you yesterday. I really appreciated that. I didn't figure out what was going on until I I couldn't tell, you know, I was, you know, and I appreciate that, and everybody else that was associated with that. Scott, yeah, Anita, yeah. So, it looks backwards. Yeah, it could be. Okay, my battery's about out here. So, Feel Good Gear, Anita, T-Lime Tea Time, Subi, Cheeto Kicks. Thanks for the good information here, S-Fan Sky. We'll see you all later there. Have a good night. Okay, bye. See you tomorrow. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Anita. All right, bye.